gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Welcome to WHW Monday. Tony Schiavone and Conrad Thompson.
Jim Crockett, First Arcade, 605 NWA, TV title, Cajun Omni, the Bunkhouse Stampede, Flair and Horseman, Garvin, Bogey, Magnum, Dusty, Express Tag Team, Turner, Barton, Mid-South Joy World Championship Wrestling.
Talking about the great years of World Championship Wrestling, the NWA, and Jim Crockett Promotions.
Tony and Friends North, they win. Look, Schiavone's back again. World title split off, center stage, Bischoff, Disney, Hogan, and Nitro, New World Order, and The Crow, Thunder, Russo, Arquette Champ, Vinnie Mac, simulcast. Tony's back with Conrad, not your classy podcast. Watch along, try not to laugh. Lowest rules, cat back. This wasn't the initial plan. Tom Zigg's a good-looking man. Klondike Bill, make him chant. Tommy, you come over here.
What happened when? WHW Monday. And now, let's go to the ring. And here's your co-host. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? With the voice of our childhood, Tony Schiavone. Tony, what's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, how are you, Conrad? Boy, do I feel old.
Well, yeah, especially when a 38-year-old motherfucker hits you with the voice of my childhood.
I know, but it's true. It's true. I am old, and it's good to be with you once again. And another reason I realize that I'm old is I'm going to go back and look at another show from 1998. Ooh.
Pretty excited about this one because this was a terrible show.
There's nothing like a terrible show. And it was one of those things that you expected a show with Jay Leno to be the worst match on the card, but it wasn't the worst match on the card. And that was...
that's really saying something. It's Road Wild 1998, of course. And this got 67.2% thumbs down.
Ooh.
There is a good match on here with Chris Jericho and Juventud Guerrera. And the worst match, well, there's a lot of choices there. I'm really looking forward to this one. The bad shows make for fun shows here on What Happened When. And thank you for joining us. And without any further ado, I say we do it. We fire up the WWE Network. We find Road Wild 1998. Of course, this one went down back on August 8th, 1998. So as we're talking to you today, we're like 1 day shy of a 21-year anniversary. Golly, time flies when you're not having fun. Do we have somebody else there at the house awake and ready to help us get this thing kicked off?
Yeah, it's Lois. You know, we've been saying so much that during that since I've been using Blue Chew that I've been wearing her out. Well, the fact is she's been wearing me out now.
Oh, you've like opened Pandora's box, pardon the pun, and now she's just all about it.
All about it.
You know, what's funny is it came up at my house this week too, Blue Chew, and the missus said, "Hey, you should have me on one of the shows to talk about it." And I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, we'll tell everybody, hey, we don't need it, but we support the shit out of it." So there you go.
God, to be 38 again. Okay, let's bring her in, the one and only Lois Schiavone.
You better call me the one and only, because I am the one and the only. What am I supposed to do? 3, 2, 1, play?
Dun, 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 dun. Hogan. Dun, 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 dun. Hollywood Hogan and his partner Eric Bischoff. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. I can write a show better than anybody, and you may want to tear it up right at the very end and rewrite it. I don't care. Jay Leno. You know, this was the they're showing parts of the open of what I think is I think it's our greatest angle.
No, you don't.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Okay. It may not be our best angle, but I think it's our greatest one because how else can you explain that you had an angle on the Tonight Show?
No, that part's cool, but
that's what I mean.
It fucking sucked because Jay Leno handled the whole thing like it was a funny haha.
You knew he would.
Well, but that's the thing. Like, at what expense are you going to go? At the expense of, hey, we want the association, but it's cool if, y'all make fun of us, shit on us.
Right.
I mean, nah, I'm going to pass.
Okay.
Here we are in Sturgis, South Dakota, at the Black Hills. Of course, there is no one or nothing else here, Black, just the hills, perhaps Harlem Heat.
And the leather.
Lots of rednecks, lots of motorcycles, a gate of $0. That's it. It's another Eric Bischoff vanity project that's costing the company millions of dollars. Now, of course, we're going to deny that because we're going to say that it's great to have the association. Huh. How much money did that ever make?
Think about that and take a look at all the people we had. We could have charged something. They would have come in, wouldn't they?
How about if they didn't? Here's an idea. Run a fucking show somewhere else where people will pay. There's an idea. If they won't pay here, let's go where they will. It's a goddamn business, isn't it? Isn't the goal to make money in this raggedy motherfucker? No.
Can I ask?
The goal is for Eric Bischoff to feel like he's a big man. So now he's fucking trying to kill Roman Reigns on SmackDown?
Hey, is it me or do you get really fired up when you're talking about making money?
Doing the old wrestler mating call this morning. Dole these out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're good. I already popped this top. Let's put these out.
Hey, are we interrupting something here?
No, I'm ready to go.
Okay. Do you really get fired up when when you're talking about making money?
No.
Is it me? Okay.
No,
Or lack thereof?
yeah, I get frustrated with
Yeah.
because here's the thing. Eric gets mad when I have this point of view.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what he says about what you're saying here.
I mean, listen, we've covered some of these shows with the concepts, and he's got all this cockamamie bullshit, blah, blah, blah. Here's the difference. How many times did Vince McMahon do a setup like this?
0.
Okay, well, that's not totally true. He did it for a tribute to the troops. He does it once a year.
Okay.
But outside of that, but the tribute to the troops is where he flies a ring and the boys overseas to entertain. That's a totally different thing. Do we agree?
Oh, yeah, that is, of course.
This is a decision that Vince McMahon would never make. And the reason why is simple. It's his money. When you see somebody making decisions like this, you don't have to ask. You just know it ain't their money.
Right. And now you get to the crux of the matter, why one company lasted and why another company didn't.
Because things make sense when it's somebody. So if you were to say, hey, Conrad, do you want to throw this big party, have an open bar, invite everybody you know? Absolutely not. Well, it's Tony Schiavone's money. Well, then fuck yeah, that changes everything. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Because it's not my money. And the idea that we're going to run a wrestling show and go to the expense, those guardrails, they brought those in. This ramp, they brought that in. All that rigging right there, they rented it. The lights, they brought in themselves. So you've got all these trucks and all these people and all this equipment and all these technicians and all these unions and all these employees that you've got to pay travel for, that you've got to pay. All these people who are working here, by the way, they had to eat something in the back and you had to pay for that too. And then they've got to pay for satellite time. I mean, literally just everywhere you look, there's an expense, there's an expense, there's an expense there. Now, what you're seeing now, that's all free. Nothing to offset all those costs I just ran through. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, I agree. And you call it an Eric Bischoff vanity project.
Well, what is it?
Okay. In other words, just because he loved motorcycles and he wanted to ride between the Midwest and here on a motorcycle.
I mean, it was something he was interested in. I mean,
Gotcha.
It would be like if I was a promoter and we decided we were going to run a wrestling show at Basel where they roll out the new watches every year in Switzerland.
Right.
Guess what? We're not doing that. 'Cause that's fucking stupid.
Right. Or if I wanted to do a show at a minor league baseball park.
What?
Something like that.
Why? And
Right.
see, don't get me wrong. Dusty Rhodes tried that a generation before this. How'd that work out?
Yeah.
And that's the thing is it's like, you know, and Dusty was at least charging money, but the building overhead. And then when you pay Waylon Jennings a mint to come in and sing, well, now you're not making money anymore, which kind of defeats the purpose for fucking running at all. Like,
Right.
Don't get me wrong. I'm sure some people are like, oh, but it's cool. That's secondary to running a bit. Somebody who would say, oh, but it's cool, never actually owned a business that they had to pay for with their own money.
Yeah. I'm with you, man. I get it. And you know what? If I can inject something here, that's why I think, and I may be wrong, that's why I think that AEW is a little step ahead here.
Well, because they're using their own money. And some
That's
people
right.
would say, oh, well, they did a fundraiser for Fight for the Fallen. Okay. Yeah. Guess what? They charged for the tickets, smarty.
Right.
There was a gate to offset it. And again, that much like the tribute to the Troop show was for charity. Where did the proceeds from Road Wild go? Well, there fucking wasn't any proceeds. Do you see the difference now?
You do get fired up when you're talking about losing money. Hey, speaking of being fired up, how about these two behemoths starting out the show?
Fuck this.
You you don't like this opening match?
Terrible.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I understand when you see, well, these guys were a tag team. Let's put them against each other.
It's an angle, right? Yeah.
I get the storyline aspect of it, but at the same time, these are slow, plodding, methodical guys. We should put them in there separately with little dudes who could fly around and bump for them. I understand and I know these aren't giants, but like when people are like, oh man, what if Kevin Nash wrestled the giant? I, even back then, was like, what if they didn't? Because the giant has better matches when he's got somebody he can throw around and sell for him. Same with Kevin Nash. They can't do that to the other one. So like right here, how devastating is your crazy offense going to look if you've got this big boot of whatever and you've got this headbutt of whatever? If it's another motherfucker your same size, these guys, to me, stylistically, pass. And how about this? Meltzer agreed. A terrible match between two guys whose prime seems to have been in the last century. And to make things even more exciting, they had a run-in involving the single worst performer in the business today, Jim Duggan.
And again, I agree with all that. Add on top of that the fact that look at what the hell is Jimmy dancing around about?
Well, these guys were part of the Dungeon of Doom. You out of the loop on this?
Yeah, I know, but I thought he was up on the apron for a hell of a long time, almost as if they were doing something wrong and he was trying to get up and instruct them that they were doing. Anyway, I just think that it's not a good way to start your pay-per-view. We talk about starting a pay-per-view with the cruiserweights, with guys who can, as you said, fly around, not with these two guys.
I'll tell you this, like if this was the first match on a card that I went to today, I'd just leave.
Even after he's paid money? Oh, I'm sorry. You wouldn't have had to pay your money.
See,
here.
I'm going to go get a funnel cake and an HJ. That'd be what, because that's what they got at Sturgis. Funnel cakes and HJs.
They had HJs at Sturgis?
100. Let me just assure you. You get behind one of them porta potties. Just go like this right here.
Yeah.
Like I'm running.
If there's HJs, there are blowjobs there too somewhere.
Oh, I ain't doing that, man. That's how you get the herpa hepa hiv. Well,
what you got all over you? I got a herpa hepa hiv.
Well, it's like the old I Love Lucy, what was it? Vegavita vitamin or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's herpa hepa hiv. I don't want none of that.
I get you. He's loading the boot, Conrad. He's loading it. What the hell? There it is. Got him in the goozle. The Tongan death grip.
Stupid.
This is a version of the claw.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Here's the deal. It's way more sensible than the claw.
Yeah, because you're going to the throat.
I'm just going to squeeze your head. Nah, how about you choke me? And look, as Jimmy's trying to get Ming off, which is a fun sentence, I guess. Jim Duggan's going to come down and they're going to play Jim Duggan's music and the crowd goes mild.
Yeah.
Boy, that is the best Sling Blade ever looked.
He does. He looked really thin here, didn't he? Oh, look at this. It's-
huge erection. Before he was huge, it's now just Hugh Morris.
Right. Look at him. This is how he treated all the trainees.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Pound them into submission.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, he's right. Right.
Thank you. I'm,
Jimmy, lay those
I don't
kicks
know
in.
him. He may see a motherfucker, you know. Allegedly.
Allegedly. You know the story, and we've talked about these shows before. I guess we've seen one before. Oh, look at this! Oh my God, Jimmy's going up.
I'm gonna get to the top of the charts right here with the Gentrys, baby. Then I'm gonna fly off. Whee! I feel like, look. Then he said, "I love Haku." He just took care of me. He said, "You ready, brother?" And you could see Jimmy shake his head, yes, and then he pressed him off. He just jumped off the top rope on you, Ming. I'm pretty sure he's okay for you to move him 2 feet right fast. But he's so polite. He's like, "You ready, brother?"
Oh.
Yes. Serious business. Is Haku, Ming, whatever you want to call him, not one of the nicest guys in the history of professional wrestling?
He is the nicest guy ever.
Golly. It's funny too, because you don't get that impression. You know, we've always heard, "Oh, you'll eat your fucking face off." Ah. And then you meet him. He's like the most polite. He's like the first non-Asian dude I ever met who bowed.
Well, one of the things about Ming is, here comes, you're right. They're not reacting at all to Jim Duggan.
No, why the fuck would they? Jim Duggan shouldn't be on TV in 1998 unless it's Saturday night. Well, I guess this is a Saturday night, so maybe he could.
One of the reasons that Ming was so crazy was when he got a little bit of liquor in him, or
Brown water.
yeah, he turned into something different.
It's funny because we did a show with him once with, by the way, this show is happening on a Saturday night, but
Right.
we did a show with him on, Ric Flair's podcast, and Rick kept teasing him about, clear liquor only.
One of the things, and I was going to talk about it, and I got sidetracked. But one of the things that happened at this show many times. Let's take a look once again.
No, let's not.
Yeah, that's pretty good, Connor. That's not a bad maneuver for
It
you
got
guys.
a dud rating.
Okay, I get it. Okay, but I'm talking about that replay and that move that we just saw, and the goozle, which I know you hate.
By the way, next up, a real clinic, 15.5-minute clinic.
Yeah,
Public Enemy taking on Disco Inferno and Alex Wright.
yeah, the Dancing Fools.
Don't worry, Tokyo Magnum's here.
Yeah, boy, that'll change things. But I'm going to get this point out.
No, you're not.
Fans would take handfuls of gravel
Yes,
and pelter the wrestlers with it,
including famously
the
the black dudes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing to me.
Look at where we are.
We're not, but again, why are we putting them? It would be one thing if, Stevie Ray got hit with a bunch of gravel and he comes back through the curtain and you're like, "Stevie, I know that fucking sucked and we're sorry we put you through that. However, here's your pay-per-view payoff and now you can go pay off your house because this was such an incredible gate and we probably shouldn't have done it. That doesn't make it right, but you don't have a mortgage anymore." Instead, it's like, "Hey man, see you around. Good job." There's because nobody paid to be here. By the way, they should have to pay us to watch this shit. And now you're out here saying, "Oh, it's the largest crowd in history." You're just out here shoveling your nonsense.
That was my job, to shovel nonsense.
I understand. Just straight up lying to motherfuckers.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, on the air here, you and Bobby are saying there's between 35 and 40,000 people here. In reality, it's like 10,000 bikers.
Yeah, but I think I was trying to qualify by saying at this rally. In other words, here today in the city.
And here's the other thing that's worth mentioning. Maybe, and I'm just freestyling.
Okay.
Maybe, okay. Listen, Conrad, there's more to it than just the gate. I mean, what would the gate have even been? Well, I mean, you had big shows that had, $700,000-800,000 gates, but let's chop it down. Let's say it was going to be like 300 or 400. Let's say it's going to be 250, 300. So you're losing that right away. Okay. I'm with it. Well, and there's not really any merch. I mean, normally you never run a pay-per-view for less than $100,000 worth of merch in this era, but you only did $29,600 a year. So you're losing another, I don't know, $70,000 a year. No big deal. It's just about $350,000 that we're losing. But the crowd is so into it and so hot. Well, they don't fucking care either. You see, that's the thing I struggle with. Like, if the crowd's super hot, which means the presentation is the best ever, and you're going to use this tape to go show potential sponsors or advertisers or whatever. Okay. But the crowd doesn't give a shit.
So this show did not work on almost every level.
Well, I mean, it worked, so Eric Bischoff could have his jack off vanity project.
Well, that's the only level it worked on.
And you got Herpa Hepa Hiv this weekend, so that was cool. Some shit Ajax wouldn't wash off.
Yeah. Had I had Blue Chew back at that time, I would have got Herpa Hepa Hiv a couple of times.
Nowadays, the company has outgrown that type of thing, and the only one that still works is the annual Nitro nightclub show in Pensacola, Florida, as part of spring break, which has been a big rating success. You're almost guaranteed poor crowd reactions for free outdoor shows in the heat. And this show, performed in front of a crowd which consists of largely non-wrestling fan, only exacerbates that problem. And for a company working so hard at escaping the stereotype of the redneck southern toothless wrestling crowd, no show during the year perpetuates that myth of who watches wrestling any more than this show. Great point, Mr. Meltzer, because fucking Bischoff hated every southerner and the stigma that we were just wrestling. And,
he sure did.
And in the South. And now he gets down here and makes sure it's just Harley Davidson festival. What?
Right. Well, it's not in the South. It's in the upper Midwest.
I get that, but look at the people. Those are my people. This looks like, rural Alabama. By the way, here's what I mean when I say that. All of my uncles would have loved this.
Sure.
God damn, we get to ride our bikes and we ain't got to pay nothing. Is Hulk Hogan going to be there? Man, I'm going to go get a funnel cake and an HJ. Be right back.
Seems like funnel cakes and HJ almost go, if I can use this term, hand in hand.
Well, like peanut butter and jelly.
When what finally,
you ever get beat off at a wrestling show?
What's that? No. Would you stop?
What? Never?
No.
Oh my God. You ain't living.
Every wrestling show.
What?
Don't go there. So anyway,
what is don't go there, man?
Just don't. I was making a point here. Oh, well, look at, how about that trash can shot?
It's why are there ice cube trays? Why are there ice cube trays?
I don't know. I don't know.
What's the biggest piece of trash in the ring right now?
Johnny Grunge.
Oh, that's hurtful. The answer was the trash can. God damn.
Okay.
So rude.
Okay.
Talk about one of the boys like that.
Who's no longer with us. And
you picked the only dead one. Anyway, you're trying to make a point.
What put the end to this show? In other words, when we stopped it, who made the decision to stop it? Eric or the company said, you're not doing that anymore?
You did one last one in 99. That was in August, 99.
Right.
And Eric got sent home the next month. And that was it. There wasn't one in 2000.
Yeah. On a personal note about this show, and I'm not talking about funnel cakes and HJs. On a personal note about this show, I really enjoyed going here.
I'm sure you did.
And the reason I enjoyed going here was
waka waka waka.
No. I love the drive, and we would always drive from here. And because we had Sunday off, okay, it was a Saturday, and we had Monday Nitro somewhere. One time we had it in Cheyenne, Wyoming. The other time we had it in Denver. I would drive it. I would drive from Sturgis all the way across. Good God.
What are we doing? But by the way, the first match got a dud. You want to guess what this one is?
Mine is dud.
-1 star.
Yeah.
But don't worry, it's going to get better.
Just allow them to walk out. Walk on out. Here, come on out. Come on out. We know we're fighting each other, but come on out the ring.
By the way, the show here is going to end with a Travis Tritt concert.
Yeah.
That goes nowhere.
Yeah. No rednecks in that one, huh? Did you like Travis shit? Did you like him?
Oh, well, my dad had a Travis Tritt cassette. So I'm familiar with TROUB or what, TROUBLE. Yeah, whatever. Trouble.
Right.
Like all of his bullshit. No, I'm not a Travis Tritt fan, but I feel like you got some jackets like you could pass for Travis Tritt.
No, you're wrong.
Well, yeah. What were some of Travis's big songs besides Trouble? Oh, here's a quarter.
Call someone who cares.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big one.
Here's a quarter. Call someone who cares. And that's probably should be the theme of this whole show.
Yeah. Except you still have to pay us.
Any word on the how bad or good or rotten the commentary was on this from your good friend Dave Meltzer?
Why is he my good friend?
Because you're always he's always your go-to guy.
Well, because I mean,
You book him at StarCast. He's your buddy.
I don't book him.
Well, who does?
He just shows up, like that.
Oh, okay,
newsletter.
got it.
Just shows up.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I have booked him at the first two. He's not at the third one though. I mean, he may be there. I'm pretty sure he'll be there, but I'm trying to do different panels every time.
Right.
And so, the first time we had the first time ever, it was like the Observer and the Torch together. So that was kind of cool. And then the next time we just did the regular, Dave and Brian Wrestling Observer Live, but now it's like, well, sort of did everything.
Right.
So I'm just trying to do different stuff.
I really, to be honest, I enjoyed their panel in.
Oh, they're great. I mean, they're entertaining. The crowd's with them. I mean, most of the crowd listens to them anyway, and they're familiar with them. And they've become sort of like the what is it?
Siskel and Ebert.
There you go. Mm-hmm. I was trying to think of the two. I was like, hey, what the two dudes who did the thumbs up and the one died, the one lost his jaw, but that wasn't a good way to explain it. And then you helped me out.
Right.
But when I was growing up, their rating, made every newspaper, and they had a little TV show, and it came on late Sunday nights. And I mean, it was really, really a part of the culture. Everybody, when you're talking about a new movie these days, everybody's like, what's Rotten Tomatoes say? But back then it was these two dudes.
Right.
And, now these days that's what people are doing sort of with, Dave and Brian, the Siskel and Ebert of professional wrestling.
Stainless steel sink.
I hate that.
I do too.
And you know why they do that?
It's a cliche.
Yeah. But it's like, why though?
Yeah.
It's a funny ha-ha. It's insulting our intelligence, but at least it's more sturdy than an aluminum cookie sheet. Like that's the disposable cookie sheets. Like, what are they even doing? Like how many switchblades are in that fucking audience right now? Throw it in there and let's cut out Johnny Grunge's kidney. He was probably an organ donor. Let's just jumpstart the process.
Yeah.
I'm going to hell. I'm going to hell for that one. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
I tried it. It fell flat. It's on me.
Yeah, that's all right.
Fuck it.
Hey,
try things here.
You're on your way to hell long before you said that.
Amen, buddy. I'm gonna keep you a spot.
Oh, I appreciate that. But I'm not going to hell.
No. You are. And here's the deal. I'm saving you a spot. When Eric Bischoff comes by, when Bruce Pritchard comes by, I'm going to hit him with that old Forrest Gump bus scene. Can't sit here.
Sit here if you want.
Nope. Remember when y'all left me on Earth? Remember? Tony Schiavone didn't. Saving it for him. He's still in hell on Earth. It's over in Marietta on Sewell Street, getting yelled at about dog hair and Donald Trump. He'll be here soon enough. He prays to be here every day.
Wow. How right was that term? Getting close to home with that one there, buddy.
Man, I got to tell you, I'm so excited that you're back on weekly episodic television again.
Well, you just never know where I'm going to show up, do you?
I'm just saying, it was cool.
Well, I'm a Conrad Thompson project is what I am.
Oh my God. What does that even mean?
I'm a Conrad Thompson project.
Is that a good thing?
Yeah, it's a good, damn right. It's a good thing. Without you, man, what would I be doing? Nothing.
You can't get Herpa Hepa Hill from that, can you?
You might.
Lord, I hope not.
Oh God. Even these bumps are horrible.
Everything sucks. Everything sucks. Chant with me. Come on. Everything sucks. Everything
sucks.
There you go.
But Tokyo Magnum, it changed it though.
Oh, it's way better.
It's way better because of him.
I didn't even know that they had Asian dick dancers.
They 1, 2, move, 3, hit Alex right. A phony argument. Looks to the fans. What should I do? Fans say, we don't give a fuck. Meanwhile,
You gonna hear something sad?
Yeah.
We lost Harley Race. I guess we should acknowledge that.
Yeah. I think now would be a good time because this has lost our interest, and it'd be a good time to talk about the fact that one of the great tough guys of all time, a guy that you watched, and when you watched him, you thought that was fucking real, has finally left us.
Well, we've had a lot of fun here on the show, doing the old talks here on the show where we would do the promos as him and
God's green earth and all that.
And you talk about a guy who, I mean, seriously had the respect of everyone in professional wrestling, young or old. It's one of the all-time greats, man. And it's sad he's no longer with us. I know Rick went to see him a few weeks ago and he called me after because Harley was in a hospital in Atlanta and he said he's not good. That's probably the last time I'm going to see him. And he's sort of upset about it. And he sent me a picture that he took with him and you could just tell like, this ain't good.
Yeah. It's not the way you wanted to remember him.
I tried to book him, when we had the, StarCast event in Las Vegas. We're doing the roast of Ric Flair, and I knew he wasn't in a position to roast him, but I just wanted to sort of start that event and have Harley sit in front row. Of course, he's in a wheelchair, but just have him front row, let him wave, acknowledge the crowd, just show him how much we appreciate him and respect him and all he's contributed to the wrestling business. And now he's gone, man, and it's fun, to think about his story. How he became the NWA champion and how many guys he helped make along the way, most notably Ric Flair. And, those contributions just continue. And what the fuck is happening on TV right now? So Johnny Grunge is climbing a ladder with Disco Inferno, and there's not one, not two, but 3 tables stacked up.
Yeah.
And on the far side, Rocco Rock is climbing the truss system that's holding the lighting up around the ring. And drops an elbow and Disco goes crashing through all 3 tables. That is the safest table bump in the history of table bumps.
Well, you know what? With the exception of the setup, it kind of worked. It collapsed exactly the way they wanted to. What am I talking about? It fucking sucked. Jeez. Anyway, rest in peace, Harley Race. One of the toughest men ever. And one of the most respected men ever. And, when he was the manager of Vader, the talk was that they're going to bring him in so maybe he can control Vader because, Leon was at times uncontrollable. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Dean Malenko, why did you quit the WWE? I mean, you were a backstage, you were a producer or an agent. Were you miserable back there? Well, Gene, I mean, Lee, everybody was miserable back there, including that fat ass brown turtle named Arn Anderson. He and I used to go out and go to Denny's, and he would eat 5 or 6 Grand Slam breakfasts. Wait a minute. You mean Arn Anderson would eat 5 or 6 of those Grand Slam breakfasts with all the eggs and all the bacon? Yes, and he would eat a lot of hash browns as well. That's why he's so fat right now. He's fat. What was I talking about? Oh, so they bring in Harley Race, and the word was back then that you bring in Harley Race because he would help control Vader, make him a better champion, because Harley, knew all about it. But I think a lot of that, and I think it was rightfully done, was giving Harley a payday. I think Harley should have had a payday for every day in his life from some promoter. I mean, he wrestled for Vince. We remember Harley Race in the great matches that he had as NWA World Champion. But he also was, and I know this was probably a rip on the NWA, but he was the king at one time, remember? And he had that, what I thought was one of the more entertaining events that I saw at the Slammies, where he and Duggan fought all those through the backstage area. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was, I was very entertained by that. So, Harley Race wrestled for Vince, known as the NWA champion. I just think that he should have been taken care of. Then we have this idiot come out with a sign that says, we hate Harleys. Biker girls are fat and ugly.
Well,
but did I ever stop a drunk guy? Nope.
Wait a minute. You've had drunken hookups?
No. It's a joke.
Oh.
See, you turn everything back on me like, oh, you did this, Tony.
Wait, why are you so upset with me?
Okay. Well, I did in college. We've gone over this story about my hookups prior to getting married and why I got married so quickly. Why I took myself off the market so quickly.
Yep. It's undefeated.
Yeah, exactly. Because most of the girls that I had hookups with in college did not look like this girl right here. Looked more like a combination of Rikishi and Perry Saturn. You can just visualize that for a moment.
Can you, in a loud and clear voice, say that directly into the microphone just one more time?
Most of the girls that I had to hook up with in college looked like a combination of Rikishi and Perry Saturn. Let that sink in. Well, we got a potential for a pretty good match here. Every time you see Canyon coming out, and you see Perry coming out.
Yeah, this is going to be a much better match. It's a falls count anywhere in Sturgis match. We got Perry Saturn in a 3-way with Raven and Canyon. They're going to go 12 and a half minutes. It's going to get a star in 3/4, which isn't a good rating, but Lord, it's better than what we've seen so far. They're going to go about 12 and a half minutes. So buckle up, Buttercup.
Yeah, this is what they called a Ravens rules match. And after what we just saw, which I'm going to be honest with you, what we just experienced with the Dancing Fools and Public Enemy has to go down as one of the worst matches we've ever seen. And we've seen some bad ones, going back and reliving a lot of these WCW moments. But that one was, oh man, that was terrible. So this has got to be better in the wake of that, and I have a feeling that a lot of the guys kind of identified with Raven that were at this show. tattoos and grungy look, and so one would think that Raven would be one of their hero types, but they were fucking drunk. They didn't fucking know.
No, Raven's not a hero type for these guys. So in fact, these folks don't have anything for Raven.
They don't have anything for anybody. It's pretty apparent. So how many people do you think, I mean, they obviously are not reacting to anything here.
No.
So you're thinking that 90% of them did not even know us. They just were there, and they were, had been smoking joints and eating fudge rounds all day, and we're thinking we might as well go to a show, get drunk, we're high and we're full. They got a wrestling show out here in the parking lot. We might as well go. Who are these guys? Who's this bald-headed guy with kind of cross-eyed, with one eye one way and one eye the other, and with this fat referee and that lazy son of a bitch sitting in the corner? Have another fudge round and another toke. You think that's what it was? They just was kind of like going to a zoo and looking at stuff you may have not seen before?
Maybe. And it's probably just an opportunity to sober up a little bit.
Well, I thought the Sturgis rally was for just on a level of an experience. It was something that was pretty cool to experience. I don't know how they are now.
You want to go?
I wouldn't mind going.
Oh my God.
Funnel cakes and HJ's.
I can't get you to do anything, but you'll go to this shit because you think there's going to be funnel cakes and HJs.
No, here's an idea. Okay. Although now I was going to say we could hop on the back of a Harley.
Nope.
No, don't want to do that. I agree. I know you and I've talked about that before.
Let's talk about this. What if we did this? I've been looking for a reason to make a cross country trip.
Okay.
We should do that.
Okay. We're going to rent like one of them big Winnebago type things and me drive it.
If you're volunteering to drive, I'm volunteering to rent or buy.
Okay. I'll drive it. I'll drive it. And
now here's the hard part. When do you have time?
Yeah, that's the hard part.
I can podcast and mortgage from the road. As long as I got the internets, I'm good.
Yeah. That's not a bad idea. And then, we do because our road trip podcast has still been one of our most popular ones.
What if we did it like a week or two after Starcast? I can't go before, but a week or two after, we could just, I'll meet you in Atlanta, and then we'll just drive to California, get some edibles, and come home.
We'll stop and who will we pick up? Just you and me? Or are we going to pick up? I mean, I thought we could like swing up to Philadelphia, pick up Francine.
That's out of the way. We got to get somebody on the way.
Okay. Oh, we'll stop in Tuscaloosa and get Deborah.
We can do that. And then we could pick up, sassafras.
Now you're talking.
In Oklahoma.
Yeah. Now you're talking.
And, we could swing through, Arizona, see Efren. Let him deal us a little double deck. You want some of Efren's double deck? I hear he's got the best double deck in town.
Okay. You're slowing things down here a little bit. What?
You go play with Deborah? I'll hang out with Efren. We'll double deck it.
So I was, at one time it could have been you, me, Bruce, and Eric, but
not anymore.
No, Vince won't let Bruce and Eric outside of the city limits of Stanford unless there's a show to go to.
How did you break free of that?
You got to man up is what you got to do. You got to fucking man up.
Got it.
So they're going down the road.
Are you surprised?
No. Wow. This is a plotting, as much as this had potential. Look.
They think that this crowd wants brawls, but
right.
I mean, these guys in the crowd were probably in a brawl.
Right.
About who got the the last of the funnel cakes of the HJs. So
Right.
now these simulated brawls are not going to be as impressive.
No, you're right. Exactly. Of course, this was the last one that we did, which was the following year in '99. We changed the name to Hog Wild.
No, you didn't. Hog Wild was the first one. Harley protested,
That's right.
and the
This is-
rest of them were Road Wild.
Okay, I'm wrong then. Yeah, you're right.
But the next one is the one where they had Dennis Rodman and Macho Man in a porta potty.
Oh, I guess we're going to eventually cover that one, aren't we?
Yeah, next year if Vince is still letting you do these. I mean, that's the thing though. A precedent's been set with Bruce and Eric. So if Vince makes you cancel, that's because you really Schiavone the negotiations.
There'll be no more Schiavone. I'm my own man now. I've been taught you got to be your own man. And I make my own rules.
Who taught you that?
You did.
Oh, all right.
See, you've changed my life, buddy.
Well, it's like putting me over Jones.
Look at Doug Dillinger. Doug Dillinger out there with him like he's going to stop these bikers that they want to ride. Yeah. That's the thing. If you thought about that, I thought about this while the event was going on. If these bikers got pissed off, what the fuck could we do?
Lay there and take it.
Lay there and take it. I mean, you could say that about any show, really.
Yeah, because the fans outnumber you.
Right. But especially this one, to where there are probably a lot of people there who wouldn't have minded getting involved.
These people in the crowd are the same people who were on Facebook a month ago saying, what if we storm Area 51? They can't stop all of us.
You know, we have seen some good looking girls in the crowd here, though, haven't we?
I ain't looking. I'm married.
You're not? Oh, stop it. You're not looking?
No, I'm married, dude. Okay.
I got it. I understand. You're not looking. I understand.
Hey, shout out to Lois. I know she's had a rough go of it. I saw a couple weeks ago there in Oklahoma where she was tased by a police officer.
We brought this up on our bonus podcast on Patreon. That was not Lois.
So you saw the video though, right?
I saw the video, and again, I will repeat to you what I said on our bonus podcast on Patreon. Lois is a friend of the police. If they told her to get out of the car, she'd do it.
Well, why didn't she do it that day? She turned an $80 ticket into a goddamn felony. She should have just got out.
Nope. She loves emergency personnel. Which reminds me, Lois and I in 2007, we're in Philadelphia. We were walking around Philadelphia around the 4th of July, and Lois tripped on the sidewalk and fell. It was in front of a firehouse. And two of these big, strong, young, good-looking firemen came running out to help her up on her feet. And she said it was the highlight of the trip. Not the trip in the fall, but
Getting picked up by some young studs.
yes, she loved that.
Is that when she became your hot wife?
Yeah.
The firemen were there to put out the fire.
Fire, yes, they did. And she just loves emergency personnel.
She
hey,
loves
the fans.
emergency personnel.
She loves, if you're a fireman, if you work for a rescue squad, if you're a policeman, obviously, if you're in the military, if you do any of that where you help people and you just, here, we got a double DDT that didn't even work. One thing about this is,
Everything sucks.
yeah, everything sucks. I get it. But this match is, and the previous match, too long.
Yeah.
Way too long.
Here's the deal. I understand they think, oh, this is probably an old racist crowd. We don't need to put a bunch of luchadors out there. No, that's exactly what you need to do. At least then it'll be fucking entertaining.
Mm-hmm. Because this ain't.
No.
So this is another notch. This is dangerous, man. I mean, this is so dangerous.
Well, I mean, this is the second person,
Who's done that,
back-to-back
yeah.
matches that we've seen
Mhm.
climbing the trusses here, and both of them are no longer with us.
Right.
Lodi's a good friend, pulling Raven out of the way.
Yeah, that's great.
I think Lodi is a great, close personal friend of the show, Mr. Charles Robinson.
He sure is. When Lodi has gone to, wow, there's the Death Valley driver. When Charles goes to some of the Charlotte Knights games, the minor league team in Charlotte, sometimes Lodi will go to the event with him. But I haven't seen Lodi at those events. And isn't Lodi a personal trainer now?
I don't know what Lodi does.
I think he is. Here comes Horace Hogan.
Why would I know what Lodi does?
Because you know everything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's a personal trainer.
You know
Okay.
everything about it. When you say, I don't know what's going on. Bull fucking shit.
Well, the deal is sometimes people tell me to say I don't know. Hey, now I didn't tell you this. Okay, got it. Now listen, you have personally benefited from that, where people have told me something and been like, "Now don't tell anybody," and I'm like, "I would never," and then I just hang up and call you and like, "Tony, you need to know this."
Yeah.
But that's, in fairness, whenever I broke that confidence, it was always looking out for you.
Sure.
I'm not talking out of school just to be running around here spreading falsehoods all willy nilly, or getting you in the rumor mill. I'm like, hey, Tony, there's money in them there hills, and I know this, and this is an opportunity for you. Here you go.
Well, it's a great relationship you and I have, because everything that I know, you know.
Well, and how about this? It's just, there's no bullshit.
Nope.
That's not always the case in old wrestling.
Right. They asked me to say, so secrets in your house, how far do they go? I say, Lois and Conrad.
What's great is that is a real conversation where you were asked recently, now who knows this? And he said, Lois and Conrad.
That's right.
And it makes them nervous that I know.
Yeah, I know.
But it's, who the fuck am I going to tell?
Well, who do you trust in life?
Right.
That's what it gets down to.
Yeah. I like that you felt you had to defend that to somebody we know.
Yes, I did.
Hey, motherfucker. Here, you, and another thing.
Well, thank God this match is over.
Yeah.
Going to get better, though.
If only they could get it over.
We still got Psychosis and Ray.
Yeah, no, that's next. And that's going to be 13 minutes, 38 seconds. The winner is going to get a shot at the cruiserweight title. And Meltzer would say this was a better than average match, but taken way down in this setting. It's the first match of the show to get any crowd reaction. And Mysterio was the first wrestler to come out that the crowd actually sort of cared about. This is per Meltzer. But he does say with the bad setting and the bad crowd, it's nowhere what it could have been, but pretty good. And enjoy it, because next up is Stevie Ray and Chavo Jr. and it gets a negative star.
Ooh. Wow.
I'll tell you that I made a mistake.
Really? And what was that mistake?
I think I bought another car.
This car thing is kind of like becoming like watches, aren't they?
Yeah. I'm going to have to start dumping some.
Yeah.
I ran across this deal where I thought it was a misprint because it just couldn't be real. I had a friend of ours go check it out. It was legit.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, fuck, man. I mean, I can drive that some bitch for a year and make 10 grand. I'm going to do that. I mean, they're giving it away. So,
well, yeah. Let me try to, if you run out of space to put your cars, I can always drive one.
I got a cousin driving one right now.
Oh, I bet you do.
He's got my 7 Series. His engine in his Tahoe died. So here's Rey Mysterio, baby. This is good Ray too, by the way.
Yeah.
Ray and Psychosis. Let me just tell you, two of my all-time favorites. I think you could sprinkle in there. I think most people would say it's Ray, Hoovy, and Psychosis. And it's hard for me to argue that. But dude, some of the absolute best stuff I've ever seen came from these two guys here.
Well, I feel that Rey Mysterio was the best luchador of all time that we had.
Without question. Well,
Without question.
hang on though. Let me ask you this. Who are you to doubt El Dandy?
Or the late, great Silver King. What? I want to bring this up. And Ray is still performing, as we know, on a regular basis. What's the deal with the tattoos on the pecs that he's got now? Have you noticed that?
Yeah. What
That's
about
like that.
you don't
I've
like
never
him?
seen anyone with that. That's kind of disconcerting.
No, you're not paying enough attention. It's pretty common.
It is?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
God, but
That's not for you.
it doesn't seem like it would be for anybody on earth. It's just odd. It's like,
Chicks dig it, man.
do they really?
Oh yeah, man. I think you ought to get you some of them titty tattoos. What,
I ain't getting a titty tattoo.
what would you put on one of them there titty tattoos?
Not me, buddy. No titty tattoos for this Italian.
I didn't realize I was doing it, but I think I just low key did like Mark Briscoe right there. You have no idea who that is, but
No,
you
I
would
don't.
fucking love them. Next time you come over, are you ever coming over again?
Yeah, I'm going to come over again.
Okay. What are you doing tonight?
I got a baseball game.
Fuck. Dave Attell's in town.
Oh,
You'd love him. You watched that Insomniac shit back in the day on Comedy Central.
no, not really.
You've seen him do his Bumpin' Mike special on Netflix.
Okay.
Boy, you're just giving me nothing today. Fuck you. Enjoy your goddamn baseball game. I'm going to go get me a funnel cake and an HJ. By the way, if you're going to watch one match on this show, people have started to really like when I do this. Go watch Rey Mysterio and Psychosis. Now, it doesn't win best match of the night. They're going to give that to Juventud and Jericho, but I prefer this one.
Because of the acrobatics, and not only that, and the fans are reacting to this one because the fans have basically seen shit up until here.
Well, everybody is a Rey Mysterio mark.
Right?
I'm a fucking low key Psychosis mark. I don't know that I've ever admitted that here on the show, but
And why is that?
When this son of a bitch did a top rope leg drop, God just got all over me. It was like, dude, that's the coolest. Like, I know that, great close personal friend of yours, Mr. Bobby Eaton, used to do that. And it's badass. But dude, when Psychosis did it, it was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I think he has like the best, like, big leg drop in wrestling history.
Not only that, he was a little bit larger, I would say, taller.
Absolutely. When you consider, you can just see it right here.
Right. Taller than Ray, obviously. Taller than Juventud. Yeah, he was a good performer. I agree with that.
And also too, this is a silly thing, but I was younger. I really liked the horns and the mask. He had a different mask. He was bigger than the other guys. He was very athletic. He could do all the crazy stuff they could do, but at a bigger size. And then this top rope leg drop, I just could have seen him doing something with Psychosis, even outside of the cruiserweight division. And I know for whatever reason, this is just, he's got a mask, put him in the cruiserweight division. But Psychosis had the size to be TV champion, US champion.
Yeah, he did.
I know people are going to argue that, but it's like, Dean Malenko did it. Chris Jericho did it. Why can't Psychosis? And people would say, well, his interview skills, whatever. What's your favorite Dean Malenko interview from this era? They didn't give him any mic time either. Dean got over in the ring. Yes, he could do promos, but it's not like he was getting a ton of mic time, is my point.
How are these guys fared on 205 Dead now, you think?
Man, that show's really gotten good all of a sudden. I don't know that you've been keeping up with that. And by the way, a few weeks ago, we mentioned we were covering a Great American Bash show, and you kept referring to it as Great American Trash.
Right.
And I referred to the trash on 205 Live. And these fucking assholes on Twitter started like tagging wrestlers on the 205 Live show, like Drew, and like trying to low key. Conrad says you're trash. Any comment? It's like, what the fuck, dude? That's not what I do. I bust my friends' balls. We talk shit about other people in a funny, humorous way. Tony called the show we were watching Great American Trash. So I referred to every wrestling as trash. Get a fucking life.
Yeah.
That being said, they got really good stuff on there. I don't know if you saw, but, this is way, way off base here. Do you know anything about Drake Maverick, the old Spud, Rockstar Spud from TNA?
No, I don't.
You would fucking love him. I think he might low key be the most not underutilized. He is the biggest utility player in wrestling right now. He has gotten over this 24/7 belt.
I've seen those things with he and R-Truth.
Well, how about this? He had a fucking ass kicking match on 205 Live a couple of weeks ago. Like, you would have loved it. And it's like, dude, what can't this guy do? And it's been a while since he had a serious match like that, because he did a lot of comedy stuff. But every time that guy's on TV, he makes the most of his TV time. And when he was in TNA, you know, me and my buddy Clint from Hershey, I was like, dude, this is the biggest star on the whole show. This is a time when they had great wrestling talent. They had AJ Styles, and they had Samoa Joe, and they had Sting, and they had really good talent there. They had what was his name before Nick Aldis? Was Nick Magnum? Yeah, whatever. They just had a lot of really good talent there. But fucking A, man, Rockstar Spud was like, that guy's going to be a really, really big deal, man. He's got a lot of upward mobility, and now he's finally getting that opportunity. And it started almost as like a funny ha thing, but he has made the most of it every time. And his match on 205 Live against Mike Kanellis a couple weeks ago was badass. You got to watch it.
I'm going to watch it today. I really want to see it
because, and again, watch it in the context of this guy's been presented as, Bobby Heenan almost comedy,
right.
He's a manager, he's relief, but he was a wrestler before that. And he's really showing you what all he can do. And I'm just glad he's got an opportunity to show it with WWE now, finally. Cause they had him with like, that big tag team from NXT, Authors of Pain. And it was okay, but it's probably not the best use of him, but boy, they figured out what to do with him now, and he's made the most of it. And he's done so well that, it's a major part of every show now. Good for him.
Well, I hope they continue to use him in the right way.
And by the way, in real life, great guy. You would get along famously with him.
I get along with everybody.
That's what I mean. But he's that way too.
Yeah.
Like, if you meet Spud in real life and you don't get along with him, it's because you're a fucking asshole. He can get along with everybody.
Well, I might meet him. Let me ask you about speaking of what's going on at the WWE right now. I know we're watching a good match, and we don't have to really enhance it that much because it's a good one. But what do you think about the Marie Kanellis winning the 24/7 title?
It's a joke belt. Why not?
Right. I just kind of thought it was kind of pretty fucking cool. And the reason I did was, well, no one's going to pin a pregnant woman, right?
Well,
and then no one's going to pin a woman after she has her baby, because she'll be in postpartum depression, and she'll be, pissed off, and no one will want to be near her. And so it's a pretty good I liked it. I thought, as much as I don't like the 24/7 title, and as much as I hated the dog pile that happened, where her husband came out with the belt, I liked the little angle they did afterwards, where he laid down for her and she pinned him.
What are you talking about? Depression?
Well, look, sometimes women, and it didn't happen in my house, but sometimes women, after they have a baby,
No,
get
I
depressed.
understand that. But then you, in the next sentence, said it didn't happen in my house.
It didn't. Couldn't happen in my house because there were a little bunch of other kids around. And
Now, if Maria's going to get depression, it's going to be from being married to Mike. It'll have very little to do with the baby.
oh, good.
And that's not a commentary on Mike. It's just, if you were to go interview Lois, what was depressing more, giving birth to 38 jobber Schiavones, little foot soldiers of the worst variety, or waking up next to Tony every day for the rest of your life? I know what the answer is.
Yeah, them kids. I agree. I love the old calf crusher, or whatever you want to call it.
It's good stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's something simple. It's just, in the midst of all the acrobatic stuff, just say, okay, I'm going to just stomp my foot on the back of your hamstring and your calf, and it's going to help. Just a small thing, I think, that helps lend some credibility to this match. Look at Psychosis, how he hopped up there. Oh, shit. That's a pretty good bump. That was an excellent bump, as a matter of fact.
Isn't wrestling beautiful? On some level, it's like, it's acting.
Mm-hmm.
Like with stuntmen,
Yeah.
we got to tell a story, but we got to do these stunts. And
it's not only stuntmen, but it's improvisational stuntmen.
yeah. And you got to be able to tell the story. So you got to be the writer, and you got to be the actor, and you got to be the stuntman.
Right. All in one.
And oh, by the way, you've also sort of kind of got to be like a fitness model or bodybuilder most of the time.
Sure. Most of the time, you got to look the part.
There are exceptions,
Right.
but most of the time.
This is what always amazed me about a guy like Rey Mysterio, and even here Psychosis and Juventud and all the guys who wrestled in that division, the Luchadors. I mean, these guys have been taking some pretty crazy bumps here. We just saw them bump on the outside, and look at them still going.
Yeah. Wide open, man.
Yeah. Split leg moonsault. I mean, you don't have time. I mean, you do if you want to, but like a Raymond climbing back to his feet. Let's hit the ropes, run in there, man. Look at this.
And the deal is, by the way, they're keeping this frantic pace up because they're trying to, get some reactions from the crowd. They got to win them over.
Right. And they're also to the point to where they realize what's been on before them, so they're trying to pick up the show here a little bit.
I mean, real question. If you're an agent, wouldn't you have made sure that Canyon didn't climb the trussing?
Yeah, of course.
One match after Public Enemy did it.
Of course you would, but there's your finish, 1, 2, 3. But you cannot always control what they do in the ring.
Charles Robinson.
You can always admonish them afterwards. A lot of that happened, Conrad, and a lot of much more of that happened with us than happened in the WWE.
You mean guys just doing what they want and then talk about it afterwards?
Yep.
I'm excited to see the replay here.
He fell on his head, didn't he?
Here we go. Give us a call here, Tony.
Okay, Rey Mysterio from the top. Oh, look at that somersault in midair, and look how dangerous that was. He could have fallen off and hit the pavement there. Look at this pickup. That's improvising right there. And now here's your finish from the top. Oh, man.
That was even more realistic looking than normal.
Yeah, it was.
Instead
Because
of just flipping him over into a pinning combination, I'm going to drop you on your fucking head, then hook the leg.
Yeah. Charles Robinson doing a great job of looking in on to see if Ray was okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, temper your expectations. Stevie Ray is coming out next with Chavo Guerrero. TV titles on the line. Of course, Psychosis not worthy of the TV title, but Stevie Ray and Chavo Jr. are. 2 minutes and 38 seconds, but thankfully, we'll get a little Eddie Guerrero action here snuck in.
And I would imagine the fans here didn't take too kindly to Stevie Ray, unfortunately.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. But we can take this moment for you and I to once again say, hey, so glad that Stevie Ray is in the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah. Great guy in real life. And by the way, as
one of my favorites,
as random as this sounds, the motherfucker's in better shape now than he ever was back then.
Yeah.
Like these brothers, him and Booker T, they have found like some sort of fountain of youth, they're the goddamn Benjamin Buttons of wrestling. They look better now than they did back then.
I know.
How's that even possible? This was 21 years ago.
Well, one of the things is they probably were a lot. Oh, God, Pepe. They were probably a lot younger back then than we really thought. In other words, okay, we're talking what, 20 years ago?
In other words,
they're just in their 40s now, where a lot of guys are in their 50s, 60s, and 70s.
Booker T is 54 years old.
Is he really?
Yeah. Black don't crack, baby.
He looks that good at 54.
See?
Wow.
See? And his brother, Stevie Ray, who you said he's in his 40s. Motherfucker's 60, bro.
No.
He's 60. He's a year younger than you, and he looks like a goddamn bodybuilder. And you look like the world's worst TV dad. Like Mike Seaver.
Well,
it's
genetics, buddy.
Oh, fuck, man. I look like Akeem the African Dream.
Right. It's genetics.
I ain't judging. I'm just saying. These guys somehow at 54 and 60 look better than ever.
It's in their DNA makeup. It is. Some guys look better than others.
By the way, how does Chavo look here with his leather vest and his leather hat? It's fun to stay at the
YMCA.
Are we going to do a little Jim Ross off? I felt like that's what you were leaning towards right there.
Hey.
Are they raising the roof?
They're raising the roof of Stevie Ray.
Either that or they're like pump faking some rocks. I can't tell.
Yeah.
Did you used to play backyard football? Is that a thing for you as a Ute?
Oh, yes.
Were pump fakes big back in the 50s or 60s or whenever you were doing it?
Pump fakes? Yeah. We played during football season. We played every Sunday. And we went to towns. We had a team and we would go to different towns and play other teams every Sunday.
I
just blocked.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that, pump fakes were a thing like before Brett Favre or specifically Jim Kelly. Like whenever I think of pump fakes, I'm thinking of Jim Kelly.
Yeah. No.
These days it's probably more like Roethlisberger, but I mean, back as a Ute for me. I
will venture to say Well, I know for a fact any great quarterback that played in the NFL
Yeah.
started out playing backyard football.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, it's some of that stuff, those pump fakes and, or fake a handoff, pump fake, go deep.
Go deep.
This is some silly shit here, isn't it?
Yep.
What did this match get? Another dud?
Negative 1 star.
They're doing nothing.
Yeah.
And you say it's only like a 2-minute match?
Yeah. Thank God. Praise Jesus.
Is it like a 2-minute segment?
No.
Or it's when they actually start wrestling, it's 2 minutes?
When they ring the bell.
Okay. Well, listen,
I don't want to listen.
no, listen to this. I really think that, again, I always take up for the boys, that Chavo did the best
Of course.
with the gimmick he was given.
That's the thing. Like whenever you and I hope our listeners are gathering this, whenever we're shitting on something that's happening, very rarely are we shitting on the boys.
Right. Well, there's a couple of assholes on Twitter that don't know that. They're worthless pieces of shit. But I do understand what you're saying.
Yeah. We're shitting on the creative.
Right.
Like most of these guys were handed a sheet of paper and said, "Hey, here's what you're doing." And then they go out there and do it to the best of their ability. Now, do they always do a great job? No. But it's ultimately, to me, it's the responsibility of the person handing them a sheet of paper to know what the limits are of each performer. And if you're asking them to do something that and he knows ain't going to be good, but you're like, well, just do your best. Fuck, that's on you. You got to accentuate the positives, hide the negatives. Meaning, let's not say, well, we put in the script for Hulk Hogan to do a Hurricane Rana. Well, good luck. That won't be very good.
We were also transitioning at a time here between just going out and working a match, improvising a match, and rehearsing shit.
Yeah, not only that, but it's also the style has changed. Just a few years prior to this, you got to remember this is 1998 here. So Goldberg is like a thing now. But a few years prior to this, this is the same company that had like Dungeon of Doom. So we had, John Tenta in here plodding around with Hulk Hogan in main events. And I mean, he had a shark mouth painted on his face and he held his hand on his forehead like it was a fin. I mean, that's where we were. And now we've got the NWO and Goldberg, and the world has changed very fast in just a few short years. I say all that to say, of course, the wrestling style has changed as well. 3 years ago, nobody on this grand of a stage had seen Rey Mysterio or Dean Malenko. They were looking for a bunkhouse buck match. Nothing wrong with that, but the styles have changed.
This is a negative stars match, but they're doing, there's something about this match that I like.
Well, because Stevie Ray adds an air of believability. Like
right.
In real life, you would not fuck with Stevie Ray.
Right. And that's what the finish was. We had a mouthy little guy who tried to run his mouth at Stevie Ray. And then what did he do? He ran from him until Stevie got him cornered and Stevie won the match. So in theory, if you try to base it on reality, this is exactly probably what would have happened.
Sure.
So I get it. It's a minus star match, and I understand why, but I understand that they, as far as if you put believability into it and make it a storyline, you don't fuck with Stevie Ray, especially if you're a little guy. And what do we got here? We got Eddie, which I love. I loved something we talked about many times. Anything Eddie got involved with was gold.
Yeah, it was going to be good.
He had the Midas touch, buddy. If I can use that old well-worn cliche.
Well-worn.
Well-worn.
I like the way you slid that one in.
That's what she said.
What is wrong with you?
What's wrong with us?
I don't talk like that.
Oh, no. 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 I just wish when you and I text back and forth all the time.
Yeah, you know what? We should post some. Well, we can't.
We should not.
We can't.
We can't.
But by the way, I'm going to try to clean it up, and I'll read some here. Because we are fucking so rude to each other. If somebody went through our phone like we thought, you know, if one of us were to die,
yeah,
and they were going through the phone, they would think you and I were fucking blood enemies.
Right. Exactly.
So last night at 8:43, I get a text that says, "Still recording at 7 a.m. Central tomorrow, comma, dick face, ? And I replied, "Oh, fuck. Okay. Alarm set." And you said we could move it. And I said, no. And you said, no problem for me. And I said, let's just get it the fuck over with. And you said, okay. And then, I texted, said, "Hey, Harley Race died." He said, "Still taping tomorrow morning?" And I said, "Fine, asshole." And he said, "We can do a different day if you want to, you cocksucker." And I said, "Fuck you, Anthony." This is the way we talk to each other.
Right. Yes. I know sometimes you'll text me and on many times you'll say, "Fuck you, Anthony," or "Fuck you, comma, I don't know, prick, PRK." And I'll say, "It ain't fuck me, you fucking fat ass redneck. It's fuck you." And it's like, man, them fighting words in real life.
"Hey, Dicklick, what time do you record tomorrow?" It's 2 matches from SummerSlam 97. And I said, "I can right now if you can." And he said, "I'm in New York, you fat fuck. You know that." And I said, "So why are you texting me, asshole? Go do your goddamn job. Also, anytime is fine. Haha." What's wrong with us?
One time recently I sent you a text, "Hey, I talked to so-and-so." And the response was, "Why would I care?" That made me laugh out loud.
What's great is like anybody else, like even our wives, they would think, "Wow, what's wrong? Why aren't you, we're fine. What are you talking about? Everything's good." But he's so mean. No, I was dick first. No, he was. Wow, who can keep up at this point? It's fine. We're not keeping score. We're good. Oh, this is your favorite. Let's let JJ Dillon pipe through the show here. Here we go.
All right.
I know my brother's here. I want his damn ass out now.
Look, you're the one that whacked him in the head with a chair. Doctor said he can't wrestle for 2 weeks.
Hold on.
It's out of my hands.
Hold on a second.
Look at this.
Hold on just 1 second, Rick Steiner. I want you to see what you've done to your brother here. You know what? Last week when you came out and you hit him with a chair, look at him. Scotty, are you okay? Are you okay though? You people, shut up! Not only did you hurt your brother last week, but myself trying to get out of the ring, as you can see, re-injured my neck also. So what I'm trying to say here is this match is not taking place tonight. Right, Scotty? Right.
All right, hold it right there. You're right about one thing. Maybe this match can't take place tonight because your doctor said that for 2 weeks he's out of commission. Our doctor verified it. But you both should have looked at that contract real close because what it says is if the match could not take place in Sturgis tonight, WCW has the right for 45 days to reschedule that match. And guess what? The match is going to take place at the next pay-per-view, Fall Brawl, September 13th from Winston-Salem.
JJ, let's get something clear, okay, big man? I did say 2 weeks, and the doctor's note may say 2 weeks. But let's be honest, 45 days, 2 weeks, who knows with injuries like this? Who's to say my man Big Papa Pump is going to be ready. Scotty, can you be ready?
I think I'll be ready, man.
He thinks he can be ready, but I don't think so.
Listen real close, because I'm only going to say this once. Your man better be able to wrestle, and he better show up ready to go at the next pay-per-view at Fall Brawl, because if he doesn't, he's going to be barred from wrestling for life.
What?
Oh, it's a miracle recovery.
Oh my. Hallelujah. And he can run too. Isn't that a...
So fun little angle here. It's weird that, we do it here in front of this live crowd and tease that they're going to do the match, but then they can't. But I get it. Behind the scenes, Scott Steiner's back was in a bad way. He wasn't able to wrestle, so they needed to do something. And the crowd actually got behind it. You could hear folks revving their engine and then the big bullshit chant. So it wasn't that bad. But speaking of things that are bad, buckle up, boys and girls. Mongo is coming out next to take on Brian Adams. And it gets -2 stars, which makes it the worst match on the show. And Meltzer would say, after one of the most messed up spots you'll ever see, McMichael delivered, if this was the idea, the worst DDT in professional wrestling history.
Wow.
And he finished by saying, it doesn't get much worse than this.
I'm really looking forward to it now. Hey, you know what? I need to say here, not these slap asses, but I need to say there's some good looking women in the audience.
Why
here.
do you keep doing this?
Look at the in the front there, the girl with the sign in the yellow. She looks good. There was a girl who had one of those Medusa red, white, and blue bathing suits on. She looked good. Some of the fans said, "Fuck it, I'm leaving."
Well, they should.
Yeah,
I would too.
Um,
I mean, listen, if I could sit and watch a Mongo Brian Adams match, or I could go get a funnel cake and HJ, I'm gone, man. Waka, waka, waka. Hey, can I make a confession here you won't believe, especially, given as fat as I am?
Yeah.
Never had a funnel cake.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't appeal to me.
Really?
Nothing about it seems like something I would like. I don't want it.
You like donuts?
I mean, they're okay, but I've never been like, I can have a donut today. Like,
okay.
It's not my thing.
Listen, fried dough.
That's your jam?
It's one of the great delicacies of life.
Well, listen, I'm not opposed to it. I'm just saying, like, first of all, if you're going to get a funnel cake, you got to go to the fair, which means either you want to ride the Gravitron and throw up, or you really want hepatitis. And I don't really want either one of those. So I haven't been to a lot of fairs in my life. And as a result, there haven't been a lot of opportunities for funnel cakes. And when I see these Hot Wheel collectors walking around in their tank tops and hairy armpits, I'm not like, ugh, I want to go eat right now. So I don't do it.
You're kind of a borderline elitist from the South.
No, not borderline.
Because I always love fairs and carnivals.
No, they're dangerous and people get stabbed there. There's disease.
No. Not the ones I went to.
Well, the ones they have in Alabama is where you go take your 14-year-old sister, and before you know it,
she's your date.
You got a nephew.
Oh my God.
I've never seen so many people running around fucking barefoot in my life. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. Some of my fondest memories were at carnivals and fairs growing up.
Now, if they told me that Tracy Smothers was going to be down there,
yeah,
and he's got his daughter with him, and he's going to get her in the ring with that stick of his, that random log he just carries around, and he's going to get the crowd to start trying to chant incest is best, and then make out with his daughter in the ring, I would go to that fair.
Oh my God.
Look at this fucking, what are they?
Oh, theirs was the worst DDT ever, right?
My goodness.
We need to force Matt Kuhn to watch this match over and over again.
By the way, Matt Kuhn's coming to StarCast, and do you know why?
He has nothing else to do?
Because Mongo's there.
Is Mongo really coming?
Hell yeah.
Hot damn.
He had one of the great lines in the history of podcasting on an old episode of the Ric Flair show. He talked about having a girlfriend on scholarship. I just thought it was the fucking funniest thing I had ever heard.
Mongo in real life was one of the real cool guys.
Yeah. Your second favorite horseman.
Yes, sir.
Got to come to a live show to hear why though.
Yeah.
Let me say this. It involves pounding sand.
Look at this. Oh, that's some pretty raw power right there, man. To pick him up, not only pick him up, I know he came running in, but to walk with him a couple steps.
I'd have liked to have seen Mongo in a more outsider role in wrestling. Like when he did Nitro with y'all at first, like he would have gotten better.
Oh, of course he would have.
He wasn't bad compared to some of the other really, really bad ones we've seen, but he could have gotten better. And
right.
He would have been a great character. That's my point, I guess, you know, in the same way Larry Zbyszko was.
Right.
But you know, he didn't need it. Supposedly he walked around with $10,000 and $100 bills in his pocket all the time. And I'll let you guess why. And, you know, he just wandered off into more fun ventures in life.
Yeah. Right in the midst of a road trip.
Yeah. Fuck this.
I'm going.
Found some shenanigans to get into, and this is more fun than that.
I ain't going back. Don't need to. See, that always had my respect. Or I don't know if respect's the right word, but maybe, something that I always wished I could have done.
What?
I think everybody, don't you think everybody's wishing in life that you could just pull up stakes from your life that you're having right now and just walk or get in a car, get in a plane and go start another life somewhere else?
Well, what's keeping you from doing that, Tone?
Well, responsibilities, commitments.
Fuck them.
Yeah, no, no, you can't do that.
Why?
You can, but you can't.
Why? Let's run through this. Whatever you're talking about doing, would you not take Lois?
No, I'm talking about walking away by myself.
Oh, just leave Lois.
Yes.
Would you take Bug?
Oh yeah.
So you're not by yourself. So
but I'm saying walk away from the life that you have right now.
No, it has never crossed my mind because I love my life.
Okay. I love my life too. And I don't think that's an issue here. I just think that there's sometimes, and Mongo did this. There's sometimes you just say, what if? And you do it. There's sometimes I think, what if Bug and I just said, hey, we're going to go out. I'm going to take Bug for a car ride. And we ended up at a Motel 6 in Fresno, California.
Well, that's what I just pitched. I want us to do this cross-country trip. Me and you get into adventures. What happened when Tony and Conrad hit the road? Let's do it.
That's intriguing. It really is.
Well, I can do it.
Well, I know you can, but see, I got commitments.
Get out of them. Here's what I mean. No job you got right now do you love enough to just go do what you want to do. Just fuck it. With this giant bidding war going on behind the scenes for you, you can afford to just say, fuck it to baseball and whatever else you got going on right now.
I would never say fuck it to football.
Yeah, I understand that, but we got a month. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. And he just holds it right. Oh, Jesus. God. You know what? Changed my mind. If you're going to watch one match this week, make it this one. Watch Steve McMichael and Brian Adams. It's got to be one of the worst matches in the history of matches.
Fuck. Well, there's the old tombstone, and thank God it's over.
It doesn't get much worse than this. That's what Meltzer said. You know what? He's right.
Well, the fans were cheering the finish. Maybe they're just cheering that it's over.
Yeah. Next up, another barn burner for real. A good match. Dean Malenko is going to be your referee. Chris Jericho is going to come out wearing a kimono. and he's going to wrestle Juventud Guerrero for the WCW Cruiserweight title. It's 3.5 stars. Meltzer would say the finish was a real thing of beauty. So stay tuned for that. And then Goldberg's going to be in a 9-man battle royal with 8 members of the NWO Wolfpack versus the NWO Hollywood and Goldberg.
And Goldberg obviously is going to go over. Look at this. Show it again. Peekaboo. I'm behind the chair. Let's see how he executes this pile driver.
He was safe with the pile driver.
Close. That is close. I don't think I'm ever going to look at a pile driver the same way again since you and I watched
Owen Hart and Steve Austin from SummerSlam.
Owen Hart and Steve Austin.
Oh, hello everybody. Me and Gene Okerlund here, revving my bike. They showed me how to do that. And I'd like to show these girls how to do a few things, especially this old cross-eyed beauty 2 doors down from me on the left here. No, we couldn't afford to fly the real Nitro girls out here. And frankly, I understand why. It's because we're not making any money at this goddamn show. So instead, we're trying to make money on the hotline. You got to give us a call right now at 1-900-909-9900. I'm going to be riding some of these beauties a little later. I'd rather do that than rev this engine right here. But when I used my hand like that a little lower on myself, boy, now we really see what the Nitro girls are about.
And he's on an American Iron Horse, which fell out of business not too long after we did. Coincidence? I think not.
How do you know that American Iron Horse went out of business?
I've read it somewhere. I think what happened was when he came out on American Iron Horse, I remember at that time thinking, what the fuck is an American Iron Horse with all these Harleys and who gives a fuck? That can't last long. And it didn't. I mean, look, I get it. They probably paid us money to do that. Or they gave Eric a free bike to ride. Maybe that was it. But Hogan rides a Honda. That's cool. But really, come on. This is a Harley convention. And basically, it's a bikers convention, but it's mostly Harleys. And we're trying to promote American Iron Horse. Give me a break. Good looking young man here. Them the rules.
Oh my God.
Didn't that remind you of that as soon as he walked in?
My God.
Them the rules.
Oh my God. I really wish we could tell people what the fuck we were talking about. But I get we can't.
Yeah.
We just can't.
We just can't. It's just an inside joke to make us laugh. And you know what? We hope we're entertaining you. And I know a lot of you people feel that way, but sometimes we just like to entertain ourselves. I was surprised. And of course you wouldn't see it here because this being on the network, they would edit it out. I'm surprised we didn't see, it's a pretty good looking kimono there. I'm surprised we didn't see some boobs.
Some boobs.
Some tits. Some girls taking off their tops.
Oh, you're being real foul today.
No, I'm stating a fact that I'm surprised in this crowd, which was obviously a very different crowd, that a woman didn't take off her top. This is like a rock and roll concert type crowd.
A rock and roll concert type crowd.
Yeah. See, like right there. Why didn't she take off her top?
What?
I mean, it's not that I think she should. Please don't twist things around here. I'm just surprised she didn't. In other words, you go to a rock concert to hear the music, but you go to because you want to have fun, enjoy the experience. People start to drink, they start smoking, chewing up edibles, and things get out of hand. There's a mosh pit, and the girl says, "Hey, ooh," and I'll take off the top. And I'm surprised we didn't see enough of that here.
And that's your move.
What? Woo?
Well, that's what you like. You go to
No. See, you're confusing things now. I'm just saying I'm kind of surprised. And I guess in reality, if I'm running the show, I'm saying to the cameramen, if you see a girl take her top off, don't shoot it. We do not need that on TV. So I'm sure they were looking out for that. I would have liked to have been the guy out there and say, Tony, I want you to go out there and stand. And if any woman, and just look for women taking off their tops. And if they do, alert the cameraman or alert somebody in the truck to not show it. You can look at it, but we do not want to show it. That guy's got his top off. All right, I don't want to ruin this moment because I think Jericho's got a pretty good look here. And see, that's a good looking woman right there.
The best Jericho right here. This is the best Jericho.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing 20 years later how he's still a big time performer?
Are you surprised?
No, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised he's still doing it. I mean, Chris has made one with, there's another good looking woman. She's got her top on. Whoa. Did you see that? Did you see that?
What did I miss?
As they were dissolving to another camera, she was going to pull it up.
How excited did you get just for a second?
No, I'm excited because I was right. It happened. I knew it was going to happen.
Well, and I know what's going to happen when you use Blue Chew. Tony's.
Cat can't scratch it.
There you go.
Open up your beer bottle.
3.5 stars is what this one gets. We're going to have a barn burner of a match, 16 minutes, 24 seconds. Buckle up, Buttercup. It's going to be a good one. Do you got any good Hoovy Juice stories you can share with us?
No, I don't.
Why not?
I didn't know him that well.
Why not?
Well, the only contact we had, he walked by me one time. I think it was, we may have been in Arizona. I'm not sure. We may have been in, may have been a show in New Mexico. He just walked by me one time. He said, "Dem the rules."
Why are you trying to just pop me?
And kept on walking.
Yeah. You know that Dave Green listens to this show every now and again.
Yes, really. Hey, well, Dave, if you're listening to the show, stop, hit the fucking bricks and get us some more sponsors, you son of a bitch.
Why are you so mean to Dave?
Because it's easy.
Oh.
I think anybody that was you, me, and Dave in our crew that night, the three of us having to handle a drunk Casio, I think we bonded for life.
And I think you and Dave are both sold on the fact that I'm one of the greatest salesmen that ever lived.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I didn't expect it to be that way that weekend, but that was phenomenal. Even though propping up Casio. Malenko looks good as a referee here, don't you think? Man, he's serious, stout. God, I loved our guys back then.
Well,
I really did.
They're not dead. You're allowed to love them now.
No, I'm saying I loved working with them. I love Eddie and Malenko and Jericho, and I talked about Mongo and just everybody. Everybody was. They were all good guys. And that's really important. Really important. It's really important that you have a good, and I'm going to bring a pro sports term into this. You have a good clubhouse. It's really important. Not everybody always gets along, and not everybody always does the right thing and is a good guy. But you got to have a good clubhouse, and we had a good clubhouse here. Although here we had good tour buses. This show, there wasn't a clubhouse. Whoa, look at this. Fuck. I think him holding that knee may be a shoot there. He's either doing a good job of selling or I guess he was selling because he kicked with that same leg just now.
Tony, when you were growing up, who were your favorite porn stars?
Ginger.
Is that Ginger Lynn, I think?
Yeah, Ginger Lynn.
She was a big star back in the day. She's probably your age now, huh?
Yeah.
56 years old. Ginger Lynn.
Huh. And who was that girl that sang More, More, More? Andrea True.
She did adult films?
Yeah, the Andrea True connection. She was an adult film star.
76.
Woo!
How about that? The song was originally recorded in Jamaica, where True, a porn star, had been appearing in a television commercial. An attempted coup prevented her from leaving the country with her wages from the commercial. Resourcefully, True called on Greg Diamond to come down to Jamaica to write and record the song with her, along with other studio musicians, which performed the backbone of the Connection project. Wow.
I bet they did connect.
I didn't know that, I'll be honest, I've never even heard of this person until today. Andrea True.
Yeah, I saw her in a couple movies.
Really?
We go to the drive-in.
Wait, they had porn in the drive-in?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
God, tell me about that. What was that? Just a bunch of dudes beating off in their cars?
We didn't beat off, but we all would go.
What does that mean? You didn't beat off?
Well, we didn't sit there and like two in the front seat, two in the back, just all with with our dicks hanging out, saying, "Pass me the Jergens."
I mean, so you would take ladies to these things?
No, we would watch it, but we didn't. Wasn't a circle. Anyway, back to the match.
I mean, I've never even heard of that person.
Andrea True?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I believe you. She's a person. I just read her Wikipedia or whatever, but I didn't even know that was a thing. I mean, Ginger Lynn was a name I'd at least heard of because I think she did a documentary on Netflix a few years ago.
Right.
That's tremendous. What was Andrea True's finishing move?
Facials.
I can't breathe.
Memories can be beautiful, and then
this is just the best.
You're asked to talk about them 40 years later. Okay, here we go. We are sullying the name of a good match here.
Yeah, it's a real good match. We've put it over. You can go watch it if you like good wrestling. There you go.
Darkness settling on the Black Hills of South Dakota.
You know what we're going to have to do, though? You know what time? I mean, well,
What do we have to do?
it's a new thing we do on the show now.
Okay.
It got over.
Okay.
So because it got over, we got to do it now. You're going to be
right.
singing a little rap song today.
Oh, no.
It got over, Tony.
No, I'm not going to do that again.
No, you are.
No.
It's the highlight of the show, man.
You're going to pick out another profanity laced song for me to read.
No,
right?
no, it's not real bad.
They're all real bad.
No, you don't know that. This one's
I do.
This one's not real bad.
Okay. Whatever happened to Tone Loc?
Oh, we still got him.
Good.
Yeah, Tone Loc's going to be at StarCast. He's doing the after party, what we're calling Janela Palooza.
Funky Cold Medina. That was cool.
Yeah.
But now they just talk about Clapton and cheeks and shit like that. And you leave nothing to the imagination anymore.
Well, that's not exactly true. Joe Davis asked for this on Twitter back on July 26th. And I thought it was a tremendous suggestion. You can thank Joe at Sideline Joe 8 if you're going to enjoy what we're about to see here. But I sent you a link, Tony. It's in your email. We're going to be visiting a song. Gosh, probably 20 years old now. We're real close to it. It's called Shaky Ass.
Oh, that's great.
It was recorded or released rather on July 18th, 2000. The edited version is called Shake It Fast. And just to make it slip through some radio stations, they called it Shaky As with 2 Z's instead of 2 S's, but Shake It Fast became the edited version. But we're not doing that. We're going to do the unedited Shake Your Ass from the Mystical album. Let's Get Ready.
All right. We want to do it here, or you want to wait to the Battle Royal and do it?
I think we'd do it here. This is a good match. We can't help this.
All right. Or we can hurt it. We can hurt everybody's enjoyment of it. Let's take a look at Hoovy going up first. Dem the rules. Oh, down they go. And here's a cover. And Oh. Shake your ass, but watch yourself. Shake your ass. Show me what you're working with. That kind of fits here, doesn't it?
Yep. Here we go.
This kind of harkens back to going to the drive-in. I came here with my dick in my hand. Don't make me leave here with my foot in your ass. Be cool. And don't worry about how I'm ripping this shit when I'm flipping what I'm kicking. Blank. That's just what I do. I'm effervescent, and I'm off that crescent, nastier than a full-grown German shepherd. Motherfucker, keep stepping.
Keep going.
Holy shit. They don't fuck with me, and they don't. Y'all bitches can't catch me, and you won't. Pay your fare, fix your hair, throw that pussy. I got a Prada for Bonapolis. And Donna for my babuski. What the fuck? They running out of words here?
Yep.
You think that I'm tricking? Bitch, I ain't tripping. I'm buying if you got nice curves for your iceberg. What the flying fuck? When was this? This is, when was this song?
2000.
They still in business?
Mystical?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still alive. He's not dead.
Okay. Oh, man. Well, you know what? Nothing surprises me anymore. You think I had to say we're a drinking hen and acting like it do something to me. Hope this incident and decent proposal make you do something with me. Fuck $1, girl. Pick up 50. And fuck that coward, girl. You need a real blank. off top knickerbockers hurting shit. Bend over. Oh. Bend over, ho. Show me what you working with.
Thank you.
Shake your ass, but watch yourself. Shake your ass. Show me what you're working with. Okay.
Let's just skip down to verse 2.
Verse 2.
We can just do the first part's fine.
I'm not reading this line.
Do it.
This is stupid. Come on, look at this match. Come on.
Come
now.
on.
Okay. I like my women like KN or Cayenne. Chocolate and bow-legged? Are we serious? They actually got away with this shit?
Yeah.
When I'm running behind her. Go ahead, do your job, pop the lock, get the cock out. Girl, don't lie. You know what you want to go back to my house. Oh, God.
Keep going. 3 lines and you're done.
The right man, Chi. Want to get under that dress right there. You spicy Cajun, we got a good time over here. You better suck the head on them crawfish.
Oh my God, you're such a good sport.
I can't believe there's another world out there that actually.
First of all, I'm most disappointed that you at your advanced stage, you have a little bit of dyslexia because you messed up the man right Chia. Instead, you said the right man Chia.
Okay. Lion Tamer. Thank God. Is this a finish?
If it is, it's going to be good.
Okay.
No, it's not it.
Okay. Well, I again, to everybody out there, I apologize for these terrible lyrics. I'm sure this is a nice guy and he's a good musician and he's a good chap. I just
no.
The world's come to an end, Conrad.
He's really not though.
The world's coming to an end. And it's been coming. Look,
just so you know, on June 26, 2003, Mystical pleaded guilty to sexual battery and extortion.
Oh, okay. Well then. Yeah, but so, yeah, and we, God.
He's been charged with rape too.
Okay, yeah, Jesus. So, is that your alarm or mine?
Not mine.
Oh, yeah, that's my alarm. That's my alarm on my Apple Watch. Hell of a watch.
So what do you think?
Good match, man.
No, that's not what I meant. Everybody wanted you to do it just so you could say, I came in with my dick in my hand.
Came in with my dick in my hand.
Like that's what people really wanted you to say.
Okay, well, I said it. I sure said it. Now back and forth they go, man. See, there was a spot there that I like. Whoa. Very fucking cool. Fans responded 1, 2, 3. I heard you finish. That was a hell of a finish. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
He kicks the referee. So the referee shoots him in for the finish. God, I liked Malenko. God, what a performer he was.
I mean, you got 3 of the absolute best, you know, Dean Malenko, Chris Jericho, Juventud. It's no wonder that this was the best match on the card. We're almost there, boys and girls. 2 matches remain. Bill Goldberg going to be in this 9-man battle royal. And of course, Diamond Dallas Page going to be teaming up with the host of the Tonight Show, Mr. Jay Leno, to take on Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff. Those matches are going to go about 8 minutes and about 14 minutes. But this show, of course, has a lot more time in it left than that. We're about 45 minutes, 50 minutes left of this.
Really? So 8 minutes. So what are we going to do to fill the time here, for crying out loud?
Well, you got entrances for each individual guy in that battle royal.
Okay, I got it.
So that takes up a little bit of time, and
they all come out with their dick in their hand.
Yep, I do. We had another suggestion. I'm not gonna make you do it. I know you don't want to do another one.
Watch this. This is the finish. This is pretty cool. He kicks Malenko. Malenko turns around into a Huracanrana.
Great finish.
It was a great finish.
Anyway, DJ Quick had a song that was requested multiple times that I have to admit, I didn't even know was a thing. And, the name of the song is called Can I Eat It?
Oh my God.
But I didn't do that. I did Mystical Shaky Ass instead.
Good.
Tune in next week for Can I Eat It?
Oh no, come on.
What? It's like, if I was to take you to dinner and
it's nothing like that.
And you said, "Oh, I'm full," and pushed your plate back, and I looked at it and maybe I like salmon. And I said, "Can I eat it?"
Do you realize I have a lot of people who listen to this, and
yeah, a lot of people listen. We know,
but who don't expect to hear me talk like this?
Well, that's on you,
No, it's
what were we about to say? It's what?
Nothing.
That's right.
So I'm not reading them anymore then. There you go.
Well, fuck it. We don't have to do a podcast anymore. If you don't want to do it, it's fine. You didn't quit on me 19 times. I'm tired of talking your ass into staying. I got too many other jobs keeping you fucking doing a podcast every week. I can just cut that one loose.
You have to keep me doing a podcast every week. You know why?
Because you love it.
No, because them the rules.
Oh God, man. How cool is Scott Hall here in 98?
He was the coolest.
Scott Hall's already had all the funnel cakes and all the HJs. Oh God, man, that guy's been to prison. Let me just tell you.
You do realize that, that back then, that not everybody that came out to Road Wild, or not everybody that came out to Sturgis, was a biker type. There was a lot of the weekend bikers too. You understand?
Like Eric Bischoff?
Yeah. The executives who just liked riding on the weekends and would put their bike on the back of a flatbed and drive it to a certain location and then hop off and drive around Sturgis like they were cool.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. But I'm saying that not everybody's your stereotypical.
Are you saying that guy I just saw who looked like he was tattooed everywhere but his eyeballs? He's some banker somewhere and just pulled.
No, I'm not. There. I'm saying that not everybody was like him.
Yeah. Oh, I got that.
Yeah. Vikings changed a great deal. But you and I will be going across country on.
Tell me,
Van Hammer. Look at that.
Tell me what you were saying again.
My
God.
That's where Rey Mysterio got the idea for his tats on his tits.
I hate all this. The more I watch this, the madder I get.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you mad because your parents let you spend money on it?
I didn't buy this show.
Take your top off, sweetie.
In 1998, I was given an option. I could get one pay-per-view a month. Can't get both. I can get one. And, let me just tell you, I picked SummerSlam 1998 instead of this shit.
Good choice. And you know what? That's the reason. This is one of the notches in our way down. Don't you think?
Probably.
Shitty shows?
Probably. Hey, we should mention Dave Pinzer is a friend of the show, and he's got Chris Jericho's old house in the suburbs of Tampa listed for sale right now. So look up Dave Pinzer on Twitter and go buy Jericho's house from him. It's at David Pinzer.
What's it listed for?
Are you seriously asking me that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably $1 million. It's a nice house, like 5,000 square feet on a lake, got a pool, outdoor kitchen, very nice area. If you want to look at the house directly, if you're really seriously interested, it's 18127 Patterson.com. It's in Odessa, Florida. And legit, Dave Pinzer has the listing, and he'd be glad to sell you that home.
Dave was always a wheeler and dealer. Why do we keep showing that guy with the tattoos all over his body? My God, pick somebody else.
Well, I mean, I think it's kind of obvious. Jackie Crockett had a hard on for him.
I doubt that. Yeah. You know, Jackie was kind of like the cameraman version of Klondike Bill. See right there, that's the Jackie Crockett shot right there.
That's the Finger Poke of Doom singlet right there.
Wow. Is that available? Does somebody have that?
It's in my warehouse.
Wow. The Finger Poke of Doom singlet. Changing the world as we know it. Along with butts and seats on the same night. Oh, Sting coming out pretty cool, isn't he? You know, seeing Sting come out with a tomato face and flying like that just wasn't Sting, was
It's weird.
Yeah.
Look at all this star power in one fucking throwaway battle royal.
I was thinking the same thing.
I mean, you know, we had goddamn Bryan Adams have a match with Mongo. We had Stevie Ray have a match with Chavo. We had Public Enemy, Disco Inferno, and Alex Wright. We had Ming and Barbarian. You think we could have sprinkled some of this throughout the show?
This is why the matches, the other matches were so lame, because all the talent was stuck in one match or two matches.
And it's a fucking battle royal, which everybody knows sucks.
Yeah. Never been a good battle royal ever. The closest thing has been the Royal Rumble.
It's a real shame.
Or should we say battle royale?
No, we're not going to say that. We're not assholes. Tony, you with me? There goes Tony. It's fucking internet. Kevin Nash doing a little mic time. I hope she doesn't try to show us anything.
Did I really drop out again?
Yeah, you're back though. It's all cool. Wolfpack in the house. You got to get better internet, bro.
I've got the best internet you can get in Marietta, Georgia.
Clearly that's not the case because it keeps dropping out.
This is the first time it dropped out today?
Yes.
All right.
But it'll be fine. All right, listen.
No, it's not fine. It's not fine for what you pay for it.
No, I don't mean that. I'm talking about our show. Can we talk about the show we're doing? I'm saying that's fine.
All right. Talk about the show.
People who are listening to this show, they just want to hear me and you, man.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you and me, not me and you.
Yeah.
You're the star. I'm just the asshole.
Anyway, I was telling you a story that a friend of mine, Bo LeBlanc, who I work with at the radio station, calls it Battle Royale.
Well, that's what it is. I mean, he's correct, but
yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. I'm not calling it that. I don't want to call it that.
Yeah. Well, Goldberg.
He's over like we're over here.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he was everywhere.
He's the world champion, having just won. Well, there's a couple signs in the crowd. Having just won the world title the month prior at the Georgia Dome. And look how awesome the big gold belt looks. This is his second pay-per-view with it. He had it at the Bash at the Beach, and they had totally cleaned off the paint and really restored, brought the shine back to the belt. It looks as good as it's looked in years here. Pyro looks like it's a different color too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Instead of silver, it looks gold.
Goldberg. Gold belt.
Belt looks awesome. Is that the most significant belt in wrestling history, you think?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just because you think about Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair and obviously the NWO with the spray paint, and obviously Hulk Hogan playing air guitar, and Goldberg and the finger poke of doom, and
showing up with Heenan on the WWE.
Absolutely. Flair taking it to the WWF, and other greats like Bret Hart had it, and Macho Man. I think it's the most significant belt in wrestling history.
And it was one that came from Jim Crockett Promotions.
Yeah. Old Nelson Royal ordered it.
Sure did.
From the belt buckle company, like the Western Rodeo Belt Buckle Company, Crumrine and Harris Leather, right there in North Carolina as well, made the strap for it. It's kind of fun that, you know, they went to Nelson Royal because somebody, maybe Dusty, maybe Jim Crockett, wanted a rodeo style championship belt.
Dusty and Nelson were buddies. Nelson from Mooresville, North Carolina.
Yep. And that store's still around. You can go check it out. And I think his old NWA junior heavyweight title belt is framed over the door. Go pick yourself up some boots. Do a little boot scooting buggy.
You ever want to see some of Nelson Royal, just watch the build up to the Bunkhouse Stampedes, because he did that campfire scene talking about what a bunkhouse stampede was all about, a bunkhouse match.
He also, I think he was with Dusty when Dusty was trying to teach Baby Doll how to be a lady.
Yeah.
And had her riding a horse at the ranch. And of course she ran off with the horse.
Wow. Holy shit. Scott Hall is out, and that was a big bump. Kevin, go a little payback here. You know, to me, as great as stars as they are, both these guys, and great performers, Hall and Nash work better as Hall and Nash and not against each other.
I agree. I totally agree.
I mean, they were the thing. They were the clique. They were the cool. They were hip. Shit. They and Hogan are the reason we were what we were at this time. And as great as the Luchadors were and Chris Jericho was and all the shit that they did, the reason we were who we were, well, Sting was part of that, was that whole NWO angle with Hogan and Sting and the Outsiders. That was it. That was us. To the point to where NWO is still a thing today, right? I mean, it's not a thing that they actually use today, but they still sell the merch, don't they?
Oh, absolutely.
It has stood the test of time 20 years later. You know, as much as I like Scott Norton, and he was with, you know, he was at Starcast and great guy and a legitimately tough bruising motherfucker. He just, star power, he just kind of doesn't fit in here, does he?
No, he doesn't.
But, and I'm just talking about star power. That's not his fault. It's a lot of it's positioning. It was like one of those things. So we go put in the battle royal, And they said, and they come up with all the names. Got to have somebody else. Well, put Norton in there, and they did it without doing much to put him over. Again, we are criticizing not the person, but the use of the person. And you may say, well, that's they did as much with Scott Norton as they could. Really? That's the first time I noticed this whole show. I don't know if you had that giant, that jumbotron or that big screen. Did you notice that?
Yeah. Whenever they get the big wide shots.
That's the first time I noticed it.
Well, cause it was daytime or whatever.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Did you ever ask Eric what would have happened if it had been a rainy day?
That's a great question.
We were very fortunate that we didn't have them, but let's just say it was one of those days, and you see the helicopter in the background, where it poured down rain all day and didn't stop. It's like that time we went to New York City and did something for MTV years ago, me and Zabisco. It was wrestling. It was on MTV, wrestling and rock and roll, and it poured down rain the entire day. We were out on the Chelsea Pier, I think, and it was miserable. It kind of what would have been the plan if one of the outdoor WrestleManias it pours down or it snows? Maybe they had it at MetLife Stadium recently, and it could have snowed in New York, that late, 1st of April. What's the plan there?
Well, they put a thing over the ring.
Oh, I get that, but
fuck fans, they don't care. But I mean, that's the reason they don't do, a lot of shit. Like, they don't do, there's not going to be a WrestleMania in Buffalo.
Yeah. Well, I get that. I understand the stadium concept because WrestleMania is bigger than anything else. WrestleMania is like the Super Bowl. It's like the Final Four. It's the big one. And I get the stadium concept, but I never did understand why they would take the chance to put it outdoors. Never understood that. But there you go. They've been able to, wow, not a good spear. They have been able to dance around it. They've been fortunate so far. Think there couldn't have been a blizzard in New York City last year, 1st of April? Of course there could have been. But Goldberg knocking everybody out here. Ooh, Luger's getting ready to take a spear.
Does he know it?
Yes. He braced himself.
Yeah, not good.
All right, now this is pretty fucking cool.
It was a good finish for the moment, but it made absolutely no sense from a booking standpoint to do that finish on pay-per-view at this time. This was the first match where the audience seemed to have a vague idea who the wrestlers were, although none got big pops. They seemed to have at least get the reaction as recognizable stars. Goldberg's reaction was way down compared to usual for the same reaction everyone else's was. Also, because it's outdoors, it's harder to pipe the fake chants in, and there was little in the way of chance for him during the show or the match.
Wait a minute. I guess them the rules. I thought he had to throw him over the top.
Well, you would think, right? But instead, just pin him in the middle. Just fucking ruin any sort of pay-per-view plans you had for the Giant and Goldberg. Just squash that.
Yeah. Exactly. Who's booking this shit? Was this a committee? Huh. So I'll throw that in there. All right. I would hope that as the shows, I would hope that they show some of the angle leading up to this match. Maybe not.
I do want to mention the little write-up that happened in the Observer. The show ended with a Travis Tritt concert that went more than the promised 30 minutes, although as promised, the show contained the normal 2 hours and 49 minutes of wrestling, and it wound up being a 3.5 hour show. Tritt's management held up WCW at the event for his money in advance, a bonus of 3 motorcycles and a Lear jet ride home, or it was threatened that he wouldn't perform. There were many cable systems around the country that blacked out the Tritt concert due to a communication breakdown with Viewer's Choice, which was really out of control of WCW. We don't know what the general response nationally to this was, but Media One has already informed its customers that they would be offering complete refunds to everyone who ordered the show, plus would even offer the replay of the show for free again without the Tritt concert, because they didn't deliver the Tritt concert as advertised, and we're doing this as a goodwill gesture to their consumers. This is a pretty significant economic loss to WCW, and WCW has informed Media One that the main drawing point of the show was Leno, and the Tritt concert wasn't realistically any kind of draw, and not to give refunds, and they wouldn't accept that decision. But since Media One had already informed its customers of its decision, it will almost surely not go back on it. The only buy rate reports we have at press time is that this show did very strong on the West Coast, but disappointing in the Midwest. Leno showed footage of just about all of his ring time on The Tonight Show on August 10th and told a number of Hogan old jokes during his monologue. So how about that? What do you think about the Travis Tritt fiasco? And did you hear that he held the company up for money here?
Yeah, I heard the Learjet thing, but I didn't hear the money thing.
I want 3 motorcycles and you got to fly me home private, and I want my money right now.
Yeah. What a great guy, huh? Well,
you know what I told that motherfucker?
Walk home.
Here's a quarter. Call someone who cares. Fucking asshole.
Well, that's terrible. And it's terrible that if you have a pay-per-view where you have to give refunds because of a miscommunication or because of, then somebody's not doing something right in your front office. Right?
Yeah. By the way, I should mention that not the next day or 2 days after this on Nitro, but 9 days after this on Nitro is when the Ultimate Warrior was scheduled to debut in Hartford, Connecticut.
Okay.
So that's where you guys were. Oh, let's get Hulk Hogan in here. Let's get the Ultimate Warrior in here. Brother, who am I working with after the Tonight Show? What about Warrior, Hulkster? You gotta get that win back, Hulkster. He beat you in Toronto, Hulkster, remember? You remember?
And you can use some flash paper.
Yeah. You hide in your trunks. Next to the thermos.
Old Brother Brood Eye lurking in the background, huh?
Miss Elizabeth is the most attractive woman here at the rally by a wide margin.
She is, yes, she's the most attractive one at the rally, but I wouldn't say by a wide margin. I've seen some pretty good, hot looking women here.
I'm trying to put over the dead. My apologies.
Okay.
You're right. Fuck her.
That's us. Try to put over the dead.
She's dead and she wasn't that hot. Let's get Tony Schiavone quoted on all the news sites.
Bullshit. She's dead, which is a fact. She was smoking hot, which was a fact.
Don't backpedal now. You said
I'm not
you said biker bitches were better.
Don't stick fucking words in my motherfucking mouth. Motherfucker, especially some of those clowns out there on social media. Da 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 Taking a lot of shots to this girl. Well, everybody knows this guy, don't they?
There he is, biggest star in the business.
Yeah, regardless of you, if you're looking at himself at the monitor too, regardless if you are a casual fan, which I know some people don't like that term, if you're a casual fan or if you're a real fan, you know Hulk Hogan in 1998.
That guy did not know how to do For Life. He had his whole palm flat and just shook it up and down and then just kept the L.
Right.
Tuck your thumb, asshole. It's not 5 Life. It's 4 Life. Hogan rides a Honda.
I love that sign.
It's the best. Well, you know, his Anaconda don't want none unless you got buns on. Can you believe this is real? By the way, why is Kevin Eubanks not in the match? He's in as good a shape as any of the boys. He could have been, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look at those guns on Kevin Eubanks.
Not only that, when you watch this match develop, he did some pretty good shit on the outside. I remember us saying after it was over that, oh, Eubanks was pretty good.
Now, there is a story that allegedly, I think I have this right. At the end of this match, Heenan took his headset off and looked at you and said, "We're dead."
Right.
He thought that Jay Leno, a Tonight Show host, a comedian, putting a hold on Hulk Hogan and Hogan selling it and doing it for an extended amount of time so they could get as much footage of it as they could. You know, the flashbulbs are going nuts from the media and the press who are there to cover the mainstream. Jay Leno. He thought that this was exposing the business, an embarrassment to the business, whatever. Do you remember that? What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, I can remember that. And I can remember thinking that,
you didn't think it was that bad.
No, I didn't think it was that bad. And I remember thinking, think of the shit that they did in the WWF when Heenan was there. All the crossover stuff they did. Now, maybe not to this extent, but no, I think Heenan overreacted here completely. Am I right there? Do you agree with me or not?
I don't know.
The WWF back leading up to this, from the 80s on up to this, as long as WrestleMania had been alive, had been formed, had gone for the entertainment value and had used guys. I mean, they used Mr. T, and maybe they drew the line to where they said, okay, we will use all these celebrities, but we won't let them overshadow our wrestlers. A lot of the thought of Heenan was this, and this is the school of thought. When Hulk Hogan was Hulk Hogan back in the WWF, back in the 80s, no one looked bigger than Hulk Hogan, unless he had a good opponent, but he always came out on top. Having a celebrity beat on Hulk Hogan was completely, I think, contrary to anything the WWF believed in. And that's probably where Heenan was coming from. But I think he overreacted. And knowing Bobby, this wasn't the famous one to where he had way too much to drink, but knowing Bobby, he had a little bit to drink by the time this match took place. Not saying he was drunk, but I'm saying he probably wasn't 100%. Look at you, Banks. You're right. He's showing off those guns too, isn't he?
Yep.
Eric, you should know not to stand in front of the hard camera. Here's our boss. He needs to be on the other side. To the left, move over to the left.
Nobody told him.
Nobody told him. No, a lot of times, I had seen and seen so many shows because Jackie knew what the fuck he was doing. Jackie would tap the guy's leg and the guy would look down and Jackie would say, move over. But not here. And see, they're even trying to frame it to where they keeping Bischoff out of the shot because it blocks. So wow. I just thought I thought all this was surreal. We're talking about Jay Leno. We're talking about the guy who replaced Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
Who was the biggest Johnny Carson was the biggest TV star ever.
Absolutely.
And now we got Jay Leno who replaced him, and here he is on our show. I just thought I think I was caught up more in the moment than I was the actual match, of the idea that Jay Leno was in this match, and that may have, I don't know, my commentary may have sucked. My commentary did suck, but it may have really sucked in this match because I was so caught up in who they were, other than what they were doing. It just blew my mind. And I think the reason it blew my mind was growing up, watching The Tonight Show was a big part of my growing up. Anybody who was my age and grew up in the 60s and 70s and even into the 80s after I got married, Johnny Carson was a big part of your life.
Absolutely.
So The Tonight Show to me was a big fucking deal. And here we were, as we saw at the beginning of this, on that little video entrance package, we were part of The Tonight Show. And I told Eric, I told Eric this when we were in Chicago for C2E2. I told Eric, I said, of all the things that you did for WCW, to me, the biggest moment, the moment that I remember more than anything else, was you sitting at Jay Leno's chair with your feet propped up. To me, that was the moment. That was a moment, and I'm saying on a personal basis, maybe it really wasn't in the scheme of things, but on a personal basis, when I saw you at Jay Leno's chair, I'm thinking, we're finally on top. You can't get any bigger than this. And this match is a result of that. To me, that was our biggest moment ever. Look at Leno. Showing a lot of fire, isn't he? How did you, as a youngster, and you didn't buy this, I know you bought SummerSlam. How did you receive the build up to this? Did you think it was bullshit, or did you think it was interesting?
Stupid.
Stupid. Do you think the whole Jay Leno thing was stupid?
Yeah. Well, because it's just, I like stuff when I can't call it. Like when you can,
right.
Like I remember as a kid, they convinced me that you couldn't call Hulk Hogan Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 6. Now, as an adult, you're like, clearly they got to put the young guy over. It's passing of the torch moment. But as a kid, I was convinced Hulk Hogan's going to win. I mean, this is just enjoy being Intercontinental Champion, Mr. Warrior. And then, even later, the whole Rock Austin trilogy, like you can't call it, like what's going to happen.
Right.
And even some of the NWO stuff, like where, oh, well, the good has to prevail over evil. Big Show or the Giant, he'll beat him. Nope. Well, Macho Man, he'll beat him. Nope. There's no doubt when you see that this is the match, what's going to happen.
Right.
Like you just know as soon as this is announced, you're like, okay, Bischoff or Hogan's taking the pin. No doubt. And yes, there is the intrigue of, well, how do we get there? But I don't want to pay $40 to figure out how we get there. I want to pay $40 because I can't call it and I want to see it. Like, I think that's the reason a lot of people bought all the Floyd Mayweather pay-per-views. It's not because Floyd Mayweather was a knockout artist. I mean, he couldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight, but that motherfucker you bought the pay-per-view to see him lose. Man, somebody's going to shut his mouth.
Right.
And it almost happened early in the Shane Mosley fight. And I was at that one, and it was like the first time I remember being on the edge of my seat for Pacquiao. I mean, not a Pacquiao, but a Mayweather fight. Like, oh my God, he almost got him. But that's what you were looking for. Like, somebody's got to beat this fucking guy. Here we go. Here's the moment.
Right.
The big start selling.
Yeah.
There are the flash bulbs.
I can see where now going back and looking at this again, where this is kind of bullshit. Well, there's a lot of bullshit.
Look at it.
Yeah.
Just fucking punch him. This is the main event of a pay-per-view, dude.
And I understand that, but
by the way, here's what I'm saying, just to put this in perspective. I, as a wrestling consumer, had to choose, do I want to see this NWO Battle Royal with Goldberg and then this match? Or do I want to see Triple H and The Rock in a ladder match for the Intercontinental title and then Stone Cold and The Undertaker for the world title?
looking back on it here as we sit in 2019.
By the way, from Madison Square Garden.
Right.
Or a biker rally with Jay Leno.
Yeah. I don't think there's much of a choice there.
Here's the thing too. Like if you're going to do a biker rally, I know that's not a thing. I'm giving it for instance. Let's get Dog the Bounty Hunter in there. Like how many of these bikers do you think, oh, goddamn, Jay Leno's my favorite comedian.
Yeah.
Remember that time he did that wacky headline skit about how the hams were for sale, 3 for 69 cents. Ha ha ha.
Don't shit on my show.
I loved when they had jaywalking and they ran into a young Casio kid, and Casio got over to the point that they made him a regular correspondent on the Tonight Show. And now he does run-ins on Tony Schiavone's podcast. Boy, his career is fucking doing great.
Why didn't we have that dumbass help us call this one?
He's probably recording Casio's cut. No, realistically, we're recording this when he's at the radio station doing his #1 morning show, which we're busting Casio's balls, but he has the #1 radio show in Huntsville, Alabama, which is sort of like saying you've got all your teeth at the Waffle House. But still, #1 morning show in Huntsville, Alabama for like a decade now.
Yeah.
If you're a dude and you live in North Alabama, you listen to Jimbo and Casio on Rocket 95.1.
Why did he not stay in LA? And why did he not?
Oh, he was in LA. He did he's part of the Groundlings, and he did the whole Tonight Show thing for years. And he did a reality TV show that was like spoofing The Bachelor called The Fatchular. And he did that silly gimmick where you like get in the bodysuit and try to make yourself into a shape and go through the little hole that's cut out. I mean, so he had some stuff that he did.
Okay. And then he ends up in Huntsville with us.
Marrying Big Booty Judy. That worked out.
That did work out. Yes. And this is and I think Big Booty Judy would agree with us that this show is coming to you from a very rural area.
I love you for that. You know, what's funny is it makes me wonder when you're out here and these bikers are drunk, do you think any of the boys were worried about people throwing rocks?
No. I don't think they were worried at all.
Whenever Judy says the word worried, she sounds like, in The Princess Bride, when the guy's doing the marrying, the ceremony, says, marriage. That's the way Judy says, worried.
Yeah.
You know that Judy takes her dragon on a walk?
Wouldn't surprise me. She's a rocket scientist, right?
She has a bearded dragon, and she puts a leash on it and walks it around her yard.
Oh, I'm sure she does.
She's also done this with her snake.
Yeah.
Feels like her snake needs the exercise, needs to go outside. So she puts a little necklace around the snake.
No. You can't walk a snake. You can slither a snake, but you can't walk it.
Well, she slithers the snake, which sounds like something you're going to say in a rap song next week on Can I Eat It by DJ Quick.
As much as Lois really likes Judy and Judy likes Lois, they really got along. They really hit it off.
And they did it over booze.
Yes, they did. Not just booze.
Moonshine.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you know we got fine Southern women in our lives.
That's right. We would never, ever go to Cassio's house. Ever.
No, me neither. I mean, here's the deal. He bought a house and used my mortgage company to get it. And it took about 7 or 8 months, I guess. And he finally invited me, but he did it on a night where he knew I'd be taping. So he knew I couldn't come. And then he invited me another time when he knew that Megan had been driving 7 hours and we wouldn't come. And I think he's doing that because he wants to spare me the trouble of going over there where there's a legit dragon, a legit snake, a legit tarantula.
Yeah.
What else does she have? She's got a barracuda. I think she's got a little cheetah. I know she's got like just a bed of razors. I don't even know what that's about, but there's like a bed of razors that she's into. And I think she's got like thumbtacks on the back porch. And
yeah, I couldn't go over there and Lois couldn't go over there because we would be worried that the snake would get loose.
Well, or that the 38 cats or 17 dogs or that wolf that they have. They got a pit bull. They got a wolf. I mean, it's like Ace Ventura, but for the shitty animals, like not even the good animals. And like, there's no Lassie looking dogs over there. It's a goddamn wolf and a motherfucking pit bull and a tarantula and a snake. This is all real. And and a dragon and like Judy, I don't know that you know this, but Judy, she's got some sort of back issue. So she sleeps on one of those inversion tables upside down. But she does that because her bat, she has a bat. She's like the real bat girl. It sleeps upside down. That weirds Cassio out.
Yeah.
So.
He married her anyway.
Oh, it's undefeated. I'm going to tell you now. Undefeated.
Look at this diamond cutter. Fuck.
Here comes Eubanks.
That's a hell of a diamond cutter, man.
Double coconuts. Jay hooks the leg. What's going to happen?
There it was.
Thank God. There's 7 minutes left in this show though.
Yikes.
That's enough time to walk our snake.
Or your bearded dragon or your cheetah or sleep on a bed of razors or sleep upside down with your fucking bat. Fans are responding though, aren't they?
Now,
you know what
I was kidding about the sleeping on a bed of razors. She does legit have a bed of nails though that she thinks relaxes her.
Yeah, I bet. You know what's over with the fans?
Booze, HJs, and
no. Within this match, the fucking diamond cutter.
Oh, the diamond cutter is the hottest move in wrestling, even in 99. I mean 98. Right.
And the fans are into it, man. It's time for the heat.
By the way, as a reminder, last month, the main event was Hulk Hogan and Dennis Rodman against Diamond Dallas Page and Karl Malone. 1 month later, Jay Leno. Did you guys go to the well too many times on celebrities here in 98 or what?
Yes, we did. But do you know why?
Because Tyson got over.
Well, and because the man, here we go. The man running the show was Hollywood Hulk Hogan, and that's what he wanted.
How about Goldberg's not only coming down, he's coming down wearing his belt around his waist. I'm going to need to pretend that every time Goldberg goes anywhere, he's wearing the belt. If you see him at a 7-Eleven, got the belt on. He's at the Home Depot, got the belt on.
Well, he's proud of his accomplishment.
Well, they wanted for this picture opportunity for him to have the belt on to let everybody know, cause Diamond Dallas Page, they got his name. He's been involved in this angle all along, but they can now mention that instead of just saying another bald wrestler, they can say, oh, and WHW wrestling champion, Bill Goldberg.
Well, you got to be proud of what for instance, when I was younger, if I would have had a chance to spend a night with Francine,
oh God,
I would have ended up wearing her panties around my head for a couple of days.
Why are you doing this?
It's a sense of accomplishment. So there are your winners. There they are.
There they are.
And we still got, 4 minutes to go in the show. So let's show the replays over and over and over. For what it was, Conrad, it wasn't that bad. Sure, it was a predictable finish. But Leno and this from Eubanks was pretty damn good.
But it shouldn't have been a main event of a pay-per-view.
No, you're right. But look at this diamond cutter. Very well done.
Kudos to Eric Bischoff for taking it well too.
Mm-hmm.
And just think, this isn't the last of Eric Bischoff on pay-per-view. We're going to see him beat Ric Flair at Starrcade.
There's a moral to that story.
I wonder how much longer until he beats Shane McMahon on SmackDown.
The moral to the story is, unless you've got a great storyline and you've got Stone Cold Steve Austin on the other side and you're the boss, stay out of the ring. Speaking of boss, man, look at that jacket.
Oh God. You're like a legit badass here.
That's boss.
What do you think of Mike Tenay's Canadian tuxedo?
I made some sort of snide remark about it at the beginning.
What do you think about Heenan's hat here?
Yeah, Bobby's had a little bit too much here, I think. Fill the time, boys. Fill the time.
What are you saying?
I'm saying, well, we saw Jay Leno defeat Hogan. We saw Goldberg come down. And I guess now we're just kind of building Goldberg here.
Oh, fuck it. You've given up on this show. Tony, when I look at my watch, it's about that time.
I haven't given up on this show. What else you want me to say?
Well, I wanted you to try to be funny. We didn't do any funny Tony Schiavone promos this whole time. That's right, fans. I'm not going to do funny promos. You see, I only do those for Court Bauer. And I do them very rarely at that. I'm getting paid the big bucks to sit at home. Of course, we know that's a lie. That's why I'm in a fucking van riding all over these bullshit towns like Biloxi and Montgomery and Chattanooga. Coming up next, though, we got a real piece of shit for you. Travis Tritt. He's in some TROUBLE, but he's getting a fucking one-way ticket out of here on a jet airplane. Here's some more pyro. Look at us just jack off Ted Turner's money everywhere. Pew, 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 pew. Every one of those shots about 10 grand, which is more than any of our performers made for a pay-per-view bonus because nobody bought the shit. And those who did got refunded. You can literally see us jacking off Ted Turner's money. Bam, bam, bam. And all the fans below who paid a total sum of $0.00 are having not the time of their lives because they're not wrestling fans. They're just here for funnel cakes and HJs. We are desperately out of time. We gotta go. How did I do?
You did great.
Next month, Fall Brawl. It's wrestling in front of wrestling fans. We don't know what the card is or who will be there, but look at these random clips of violence. We don't have any idea what will be there, but here's a tank. Bam! Coming all over your face. Sunday, September 13th, live on pay-per-view. Call your cable or satellite company to order now, or fucking don't. We don't care. It's not our money.
Tremendous. Again, I came here to this show with my dick in my hand. And don't make me leave here with my foot in your ass. Be cool and don't worry about how I'm ripping this shit. I'm effervescent, and I'm off that crescent. Nastier than a full-grown German Shepherd. Motherfucking keep stepping. We're out of time. We'll see you next week on What Happened When on the MLW Radio Network, as well as on
Patron.